like you're losing track. I know your heart bleeds. Don't lose your mind. Just let it be, let it be. Know you're dying inside. I know it gets harder. Days get longer. But close your eyes. It's gonna be alright. I know it gets harder. Days get longer. But close your eyes. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. I know it gets harder. Days get longer. Close your eyes. It's gonna be alright. I know it gets harder. Days get longer. Close your eyes. It's gonna be alright. holding tight while it lasted. I thought that we were forever. I didn't know any better. Took a second chance, trusted you again. I feel sad.
Hello and welcome into the Boise State Esports Arena. We're here today for the USO Invitational Qualifier, week number 4, powered by Geico Military. Since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform. From the moment they join through their assignments and deployments, and as they transition back to their communities, the USO is always by their side. I'm Michael Fisher, joined by Alton Siphon Dills to call all of the action. At Siphon, we're not done yet. It's a 6-week tournament. It's week 4, but I think this is the most important week. Do you agree?
I definitely agree. I think that this is basically, this is it. This is the time to get it together. You need to be hitting your stride. You got to really start picking up those victories because you are running out of time to be able to get yourself into those positions in order to move on to the next round.
Why say you're running out of time? Let's take a look at the rule set here, and you will see why week 4 really is important for these teams. It is a best of 3, 3-on-3, the Rocket League side of things, all very standard, 5-minute game, sudden death, overtime. It's a 6-week Swiss bracket. We are getting down to the end. You only get one match a week. And why does all this matter? Because the top 8 teams from this event will qualify for the USO Invitational and a shot at a $10,000 prize pool. Siphon and I talked about it a lot. 4-2 is probably feeling pretty good. 3-3, maybe you sneak in as the 8th place team, but it's going to be a lot of luck. Maybe a coin flip involved as well. You do not want to take a 3rd loss, and you really can't afford to take a 4th loss. That probably ends your season and ends your dreams of getting to that USO Invitational. So this was why I think this week is very important. We do want to remind everybody this competition was free to enter for both military and civilian competitors. Top 8 teams, as we said at the end of this league, will compete against other tournament winners for a shot at a $10,000 prize pool if you've been in a previous event and you don't know if you qualified. If you have been top 3 in any USO Experience Rocket League finals and you've received pricing, that means you have qualified for that $10,000 USO Invitational. Now, last week was absolutely crazy. We saw some insane games, Siphon. Things going to best of 3, game-tying shots with 0 seconds on the clock. So before we get to our first match, which will be a show match against NXG in Florida Tech Varsity, which we cannot wait to talk about, let's throw it back to last week's highlights and take a look at some of the crazy things you might have missed if you missed week 3.
Rolled by Grover in the air. He goes for a double hit. He's looking for Berto, but it's denied by Dalton. Back again for Desk, and Desk ties the game.
You said it, a great attempt at a double hit here from Grover and Berto. Dask in the perfect spot to sneak it around Ghost. 4 seconds, we're tied. We're going to demo on to Dalton. Can that open things up? Berto looking to get it down to Grover. Ghost with the steal on net. No! Cross map, and UTD has the lead.
2 games in a row there as Ghost with a full-length goal there on a clearance. And Florida Tech punished for aggressive road.
Another clean win, but Brock, great touch. Oh, Shizzle, though, denies it. Lobs the ball on net. Aoka's going to redirect it.
What a pass! Wow. Fo Shizzle with a phenomenal pass there, and Aoka does everything he can to get there and taps it in.
The TSP wins this. I will lose my mind. And Barcelona looks for it, and Free gets it done! For no reason whatsoever, we're going to a game 3!
Fo Shizzle said the goalie's got to clear that. Lettuce couldn't either. Great combination play and C. Not able to finish with enough speed on that shot, and it's going to fall down. What a shot!
Rich will just, he'll score. What a great goal. It's not the easy ones that get scored. Just a fantastic touch around 2. No business score.
But for everybody as Schmacht tries to guide it in. He hits it like 4 times in the air. He sets it up, and Skies takes the lead for Abstract.
Skies with the hat trick. Every goal this game on Abstract side has come from him. And he gets the biggest one of the night. 34 seconds. Fantastic stop at midfield, looking to play it himself. He's got big old Bobcat waiting for the pass. Puts it on net, and big old Bobcat scored.
And that was the most difficult of all the chances he's had. But great touch there and control from big old Bobcat. He gets it past the defense and a soft spike.
Center Timber ends up winning that one. Colorado off the sidewall. Nobody's there. Devo Lord with a shot, and it goes in.
Wow. What a shot there. Great recognition there from Devo Lord. He realizes how much room and space he has. Miss Magician caught in no man's land. And that's going to be a one. Trying to spike it into the ground. He will do so. Timber tries to get to it. And it's going to go sharply off the wall. Miss Magician Geico throws the goal. And again, the team play sets up a goal.
What a play from Timber. He scored so many goals in game one and says, you know what? This goal goes in if Rock Dirt can't play defense. The team plays for absolutely wild set of games last week. We're going to get some great ones here as well, but I do think as we transition to our first match, I said a show match between NXG and Florida Tech varsity. Fish and Siphon here calling the action. We get maybe your favorite storyline, Siphon. Florida Tech varsity 1-2. They're one of those teams that lost in their official game. They're 1-3. They feel kind of funky. 4-0 in show matches for some reason.
You know, they definitely just seem to have it figured out there. Maybe what what they need to do is they need to simplify things. I mean, it seems like in those show matches, they're usually pretty simple. You're not trying to reveal too much, and they maybe need to just apply the same formula that they've approached these show matches with for their USO matches.
This is really, like we said, the most important week. If you go to 1-3, it's going to be very hard. I agree with you. Maybe you just take things simple. You say, you know what? And at this point, I think the gloves have to come off, even if it's a show match. You just want to say, like, we want to win. We just want to feel good about ourselves. Of course, if they miss and then they're 5-0 in show matches, I think the meme potential is just through the roof. It's absolutely hilarious. So yeah. I can't wait to see what happens. We do have some fantastic games, though, set up. We're going to get to take a look at Michigan, who you called your dark horse last week. They are 2-1. We'll get to see what they can do against Hood College coming up later today. And then maybe the best one of the night, we will get Escape Velocity, who is 3-0. They've had some fun with their opponents, if we're going to be nice. You saw some of the highlights there. We were joking around. They scored an own goal to send Game 2 to overtime for no apparent reason. They'll be taking on Team Volted. If that name doesn't sound familiar to you, it's because Team Abstract has actually changed their name. They've been told they've been acquired by Team Volted. Those teams both 3-0, so that'll be a fantastic game as well. So he's got some really good games on the schedule. Starting it off with NXG and Florida Tech varsity in our show match that is about to go live here in just a few minutes. Before we hop into that game, though, of course, why don't we take a look at Doc's keys to the game, presented by Geico Military, to give these players a thought. Even if it's a show match, it doesn't matter. You want to come home with the W, and those are create mistakes, punish the overcommit, don't overstay, and bump and demo to disrupt. Doc's Keys brought to us by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a proud sponsor of the USO since 1997. NXG, Florida Tech varsity, about ready to kick things off here in the USO Invitational Qualifier week number 4. Is there a certain team that you're really looking forward to seeing tonight? I mean, I know you had an eye out for Michigan. We'll see a couple of undefeated teams. We'll also see Wyoming. Is there a certain team on our schedule tonight that really catches your eye, Siphon?
You know, I definitely think it's either going to be Michigan or Wyoming this week, and the reason for that is just because this is the time for them to really cement themselves as as potentially moving up the standings here and pretty quickly. Michigan, if they move to 3-1, they will have probably then cemented themselves as in contention for the top 3, top 4. You know, looking to push some of those teams who've recently been undefeated that drop to a 1 loss due to the Swiss bracket format. And last week we saw Wyoming with a great series last week. They definitely looked like they had learned from what had happened in their earlier games, and they now have the opportunity to move to 2-2 for the first time. And if they're able to do that, that cements themselves as in a really good spot to try to move up here, to try to qualify here in the next couple of weeks.
Wyoming would be that classic example, something you and I have talked about a lot, which is sometimes maybe it is better to start 0-2 in Swiss, and you have that easier route, if you will, because you're playing teams that are 0-2, 1-2. If you're unfamiliar with the Swiss bracket, we try and match records up. We will have identical records throughout the night, but it does sound like we are almost almost ready to go here. It is NXG taking on Florida Tech varsity again. This is just a show match kind of to start out the evening with some fun, but still a great warm-up for both of these teams, so I cannot wait to hop into this one, see how everything goes. Remember, everything's a best of 3, which can lead to just either a quick match or some chaos as we saw last week, so that I am really excited for. I'm with you. I think Wyoming's the team I really want to see, though, because I think they're that team where they've been so close in the games we saw. They started out 0-2. It definitely felt like they could be 1-1 or maybe even 2-0. And also, call me, not a true fan of Boise State, but they're in the Mountain West. And I want to see Mountain West teams do well as we kick off our first show match of the night. NXG taking on Florida Tech varsity. Berto, Dask, and Grover had a crazy game last week. Can they do it again? Grover off the back wall trying to set up Berto. Is there a play for Berto in front of the net? There is not.
Go back into the Florida Tech end here as Dask tries to battle with it here with Davo Lord, as now it's going to be sent into the NXG zone, and it's going to be promptly cleared away.
Berto keeps it alive. Didn't quite get a great touch on it, though. Nice pinch off the wall. Devo Lord with a fantastic steal. NXG gets the clear they were looking for.
And it's going to be Grover picking this one up here over to Berto now as he looks to cross it back in. Grover one more time off the corner wall, leaving it there for Dask, I believe, and that will be an early goal.
So much pressure from Florida Tech. I don't think this ball ever left the blue side for more than a few moments. Dask always puts himself in great position, but what a team play. Berto touches it, Grover touches it. Dask finally puts it in. It's a 1-0 lead here for Florida Tech in our first game of week 4. Still a show match, but they're playing for everything right now as we see Berto racing in, but Divalor with a great hit.
Yeah, now he's going to bring it in here. That's going to take a good bounce for them, but it's going to be promptly dealt with there from Grover. And now here comes Berto down the side. Promptly set back there by Impastor, and it's going to be nearly going in as it's going to be ricocheted off the side.
Dask retreating Devo Lord. Great setup here. Ball's going to fall right into his lap until Berto has other ideas. Dask one more time has to go up for it. Off the side wall. Can't elevate for it. That should be an easy hit back by NXG.
Come to Grover here now as he's going to look to combine with Berto again, who leaves it for Dask, but he was just a little bit off, but he's going to be able to readjust, gets the shot off, but it's going to be high and cleared away by Davo Lord.
Moses now gets a great double hit on it, but the car ends up facing the wrong way. Impastor coming in. Now it's a 1-on-2 for Devo Lord off the back wall. Here comes Berto. That ball took a weird hop.
Wow. I think it's just someone was sitting in the goal there. I didn't quite get a confirmation who that was, but it's a drive in from Dask off the top wall. Grover going for the bump. Berto looking to try to get it back towards the goal, but it's going to go behind him here, and he's going to have to go back and play it off the back wall. Being harassed, but he's going to be able to get it to Grover. And an interesting bump idea.
Berto, I guess, thought Dask wasn't going fast enough for it. As Dask puts it on net. Huge save for Impastor. Ooh, one chance here for Grover, but his shot goes wide of the net. Wosis should be able to corral this. Never mind. It's Dask who puts it on net.
Good work there from Florida Tech, recovering possession there, keeping it alive, and eventually finding an opportunity to get a nice shot off there. Good work from Dask, stepping into the lane and confidently putting it away. And I do believe the earlier attempt was actually a save. I just think it might have been a passer, but I'm not sure who it was on that awkward bounce. But up to kickoff we go as Grover now trying to combine with Berto, who gets demolished. It's going to go back to Grover. 1, 2, 3. And an easy goal.
That's a beautiful play right here. Berto with the steal, gets demoed. Dask sets up Grover, and then Dask has the awareness. Get out of the way. And again, the show match for Florida Tech varsity, 3-0 leader over NXG. Why can't they do this in real play is, I'm sure, the question all their fans want to know. As Grover looks to set up one more for his team. Dask is racing in, but it's stolen away.
Yeah, and here comes Berto now, trying to play it down towards the corner wall, looking for Grover. Is he going to be able to win the ball back? He will. He'll be playing it back to Dask. In the air goes Berto, and he's going to end it having it taken away from him by Davo Lord, who sends it in, and Grover has to knock it away.
Dask should be able to get there in time. He will. Ball kind of bounced a little higher than he expected. Pass stolen away. It's a wide open net, but there's no one there for NXG. Berto, whoa, interesting hit there, but gets it away.
Slick handles there from Berto, and now it's another opportunity as Grover gets the demo down on Impastor, but it will be cleared away, and now Davo Lord on the counter-attack. Great defending from Dask will knock that away. Can Grover dribble it out of danger? It looks like he can, until it's cleared away from him.
Dask with a great pass over to Berto. Nobody down in the blue corner, though. They do get a demo onto Grover, but still no one's going for the ball. Berto finally with a fantastic play off the wall, stops that clear. Devo Lord with a touch here. It's Grover, centers for Dask, who puts it just a bit high.
Close, but almost. Maybe as Dask gets it over to Berto, and he turns it over to Impastor, and now it's going to be cleared away again by Grover. Dask sends it forward, looking for Berto, but he can't get on the end of it. Maybe he can as it bounces short of the goal. Now Vos is trying to clear it away. Comes to Dask, who's looking to center it for Grover. He gets a piece of it, but it's going to go wide.
Berto looking for some redemption. Oh, the great tap off the wall, stopped by Impastor. Dask has to try and change angle. Huge shot down, and it's stopped by Devo Lord.
Man, that was also nearly a great feed to Grover as well. As now here comes Impastor trying to get a goal on the board here for NXG potentially, but Dask deals with that one. Grover off the back wall now looking for Dask in transition. And the hats rain down.
Dask is just a goal-scoring machine in our first game. Grover, what a setup off the back wall. Dask gonna sneak it past Devo Lord. Nobody else defensively there. Florida Tech 4-0 lead, mainly on the back of Dask. You can see his medals basically more than anyone else in the game. Looking for one more goal. What a setup!
Woo! Wow. I mean, what a setup. Grover holds the ball up here. Dask just takes it, and then he just flicks it over everybody. I mean, whew. Dask with a great finish there. And now it's going to be Florida Tech up 5-0 here. 40 seconds left here in the show match. Now Grover's going to take this one high off the wall, looking to get control of it in the center here. As he's going to have to go up against Impastor, and he gets it past him. And he's going to look to set up Dask one more time. Can the man be stopped?
The answer appears to be no. Look at him, just patrolling that midfield. Sees an opportunity, wide open net. There's still enough time for maybe a double hat trick for Dask. 30 seconds. Look at those medals.
My Lord.
The shots alone are almost off the screen. He does lose the kickoff, so I guess that's the only thing he hasn't worked on. As Berto looks to carry it down, here's Dask, but who needs him? Berto gets on the board.
Now Berto showing off the control here. Does a nice job holding the ball up, knocking it forward in the air, and then just slips it right over Impastor, who had good position there to try to make a play on the ball. I mean, great work there, but you look at Grover, I mean, his medals are off the screen too. I mean, Dask and Grover starting to get their medals, too many medals really, for the graphic to handle. And Berto maybe gonna try to get the same as Impastor, driving it towards the goal line, not able to get it over though. As Moses loses possession of it actually, as Grover with 10 seconds remaining here, gonna try to get another goal out of this. It's a good setup, nice defending though. We'll make sure it's gonna go away. Devo Lord trying to guide it out, and 1 second left. Berto will knock it forward to Dask, looking for Grover now as he goes for the setup. He missed the ball though, kept alive by Berto. He wants another one, pops it in the air, and Grover missed it again, and Florida Tech will have to just settle for the comfortable victory instead.
Don't forget this tournament powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces. Florida Tech Varsity's luck in show matches continue. I believe now either 4-0 or 5-0 in this tournament in show matches, but only 1-2 overall. Not going to be able to catch their actual game today, but hopefully they do move to 2-2. They stay in this tournament because this is a very exciting team. You can see what Dask can do. The Grover and Berto setups were fantastic. It just hasn't come together overall, but they're 1-2 siphons, so they might get an easier opponent this week, and they might be able to make one of those runs that we've talked about for Michigan and for Wyoming. This Florida Tech team also kind of in that mix of they're right on the verge of elimination, but they're also on the verge of kind of taking that weak schedule and just propelling them right into those top 8 spots.
Yeah, definitely, and it's really been interesting because they've played some good teams in those show matches as well. I mean, but last week I think was the game that pointed to the evidence that they definitely have got this. They've got the talent to compete. I mean, they took UTD, who we after week 2, thought maybe might be the #1 team as a consensus among you and me, and it went from UTD got dominated in all 3 games. It was just that they managed to find enough openings in Florida Tech's defense in order to find a few past them. And if they could shore up those defensive rotations, because that's really what came back to get them, if they're able to shore that up, this team has as much offensive firepower as any of the top teams.
Well, guess we're not done yet with this show match. We're ready for game number 2, so Florida Tech Varsity's got to work a little bit harder to keep this undefeated record alive here. Does look like they do have a sub. The goal scoring machine Dask is out and Tuna is in. We'll see if that affects the team as Tuna over to Berto. They center it back for Grover, back to Berto. What a team setup.
Man, that's just part of it. I mean, they've just changed one of the pieces of that machine that they built, and it just continues to not really make a difference. I mean, just beautiful passing, good understanding where to be, what to do. You know, and now Florida Tech leads just 14 seconds into it. So we get another kickoff. Grover, another win on the kickoff. And it's going to fall back here as it's being taken away by Impastor, but it's going to fall here to Tuna. Going to go over to Berto, who knocks it forward there. Can Tuna get on the end of it? He can, but it's going to be knocked away by Impastor.
Berto keeping this alive. Over to Grover. Just like I'm watching, you know, basketball at this point. Everyone's touching the ball. Tuna does get knocked away. He was in a great position. Devo Lord trying to get it clear here. Gets a great touch around Berto. Berto, though, just going to let his teammate corral it.
And here goes Tuna now. Good defending now and trying to get the break started there. Almost fed it to Grover, but it gets knocked away instead. Berto now going to have to do some defending here. He pops it in the air. Got a full boost, and he'll get it over one. Now starts the transition break. Looks to hold it up. What defending there. That was brave from Devo Lord.
Tuna looking for Grover, who ends up bailing out. Now Tuna's got to take it himself. Looking for a teammate. It's Berto right below the net. Berto bailed out, though. That was a great setup. They'll try one more time. Back to Grover. His shot way too weak, and Berto accidentally makes the save.
Wait a second. We sure escape velocity's not playing. Is it NXG, or NXG now tries to go on the attack here as Tuna combining again with Grover, again with Berto, and he scores it this time.
This is just picture perfect. Look at this setup. Tuna over to Grover. Berto midair. Had a chance for Wosis to make the save. Even NXG's impressed. Yeah. Look at the chat. They're screaming, what a play. That was so insane from Florida Tech varsity. They have the skills to get this thing going. As Grover off the kickoff, gonna corral it. Looking for a teammate there. Just drops it perfectly to Berto. Kind of leaves the ball in the middle of the map, though, and Wosis gets a great touch on it.
Yeah, Tuna's got to try to win this one back here. Not going to immediately, and Grover will manage to knock that one away. Up into the air it goes, and Pastor gets a decent hit on it, but no one's there.
Berto elevates, looks for a clear, stopped in midfield by Devo Lord. So Grover comes flying in. Berto looking to set up a teammate. It is stolen away, ends up right back in his lap. Gets a center, but nobody's there.
Yeah, good defending again from Impastor as he knocks that one away. Grover now trying to play it back to Tuna. Tuna somehow got on the end of it. And again, another intentional save on a goal there. That could have been 3 for Florida Tech.
Impastor is a great spot here. So does Wosis. They get it past a couple, but a great touch by Tuna. Him and Berto looking for the give and go. And Berto's got the hat trick.
He's got a new collection of hats there, and with how Florida Tech has combined together here in this game, I mean, maybe they felt Berto didn't have enough medals last game. Must have been what it was, but you know, they continued that, you know, just strong play here offensively, and they're doing a better job on their rotations in this show match as well. So we'll see if they'll be able to keep that up once they move into their actual matches, as that's another high ball there looking for Berto. Grover knocks it away from Tuna, and it's instead going to be an open goal there. If that was accurate, that could have been a goal.
They get a demo from Berto to kind of stop the bleeding defensively. Grover looking for a nice pinch off the wall. He'll find it, but a great touch by Wosis. Keeps the ball near midfield. Devo Lord's shot turned away as well.
And here's Berto now, looking to get towards the wall. Devo Lord, excuse me, not going to get there. Here comes Berto, looking to set up Grover. Great read on the ball there from Devo Lord as he makes 2 great defensive plays.
Astor, oh, terrible touch in front of the net, but Berto and Tuna kind of caught off guard. That should have been a free goal for Florida Tech varsity. Instead, Grover will reset it back to Tuna. He'll hit it over to Berto, but the ball is wide. Florida Tech's just going to have to go for a nice reset here.
Yeah, here comes Tuna now. Over to Berto. Forward looking for Grover. Grover pops it up. Just barely going to be too far behind there for Berto as he's not able to collect it cleanly. Now here comes Tuna. Looking forward here. Wosis manages to win the ball back. Here comes Devo Lord, who pushes Grover off the ball. Wosis now off that center wall. He pops up in the air. Wosis gets demolished by Tuna. Can they do anything?
Great steal by Devo Lord. He's got a wide open net. He centers it up for a teammate. Impastor just barely hits it with his back tire, though. Huge opportunity missed for NXG, and now 2 of them miss. Grover's racing down. He's got Tuna near midfield, pushes it over towards him, but the ball's just a bit too fast.
Yeah, a little bit too much pace on that shot, though. Under a minute to go here as it's 3-0 Florida Tech. Grover now off to the center wall, looking to play it back here towards Tuna. That's going to be an opportunity, and it's just a little bit too far forward there for Tuna. As now he's got to run back to play some defense here as Imposter going to try to find an opportunity here for his team. Can NXG get on the board here? Tuna knocks it away.
Tuna going to carry this one up the field. Wosis has an opportunity, but he's going to get denied a couple of times. Now it's Tuna's turn with 30 seconds left. Over to Grover. They want to center it for somebody. Evil Lorch is going to simply steal that one away and force a reset.
Here we go now. It's going to come back towards Tuna. Tuna knocks it up and leaves it for Grover. Grover now slow playing this one. He slips it under the defender, and it's going to be still cleared away though by NXG. His Berto holds it, wins the ball back, plays it back towards Tuna in the center. Going to be knocked away again. Popped up by Grover, and that will do it. Providing they let it hit the ground, they will not, and Grover adds another.
Definitely can tell this game, especially Florida Tech working on these passing plays. So when they work, they are so hard to stop. Look at this goal. It is wide open. The only thing that could have stopped it is the ball hitting the ground. So we're at 0 seconds. Florida Tech will be the winner here. Week 4 USO Invitational Qualifier. That's just a show match, though, but a sign of things to come here with Fish and Syphon, because we've got an absolute banger next between Michigan and Hood College. Both those teams at 2-1. A win would go a long way. But before we get to that series, we put a bow on this. NXG has some bright spots. I think definitely going to have some things to work out at 0-3. They're kind of right on that edge. But Florida Tech varsity, again, 5-0 in show matches, only 1-2 in the actual games. But you can just see their potential no matter who plays, if it's Tuna or Das. They put up goals in a ton there in those 2 show matches we saw.
Yeah, and it's really interesting just because typically you're not wanting to show a whole lot here, but Florida Tech typically does in these show matches, and, you know, they did a good job there, you know, in that show match working on those passing plays. They definitely were looking really good, but the main thing I was looking at was their defensive rotations, because that ended up getting them against UTD last week as they gave up a couple of really long goals from defensive clearances there. They were doing much better with that. We'll be curious to see how they do coming this week.
Well, before we get to Michigan and Hood College, our first official game on the night, let's throw it to a quick break. When we come back, Michigan, Hood College, they're both 2-1. This game means a lot. 3-1 is a nice place to be. Who's going to get there? Find out after this.
I wanted to go on the USO tour here in Alaska because I've actually never been to Alaska, but more importantly, I've never done a USO tour before, and this was an opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. I told everybody on my team I really want to dedicate some time, visit some people and thank them in person, and we just, you know, threw this together, and everybody was very accommodating and made it happen. Here at Allison, it's just been a very warm welcome. I mean, not weather-wise, but people-wise, it's been incredible. Just getting to explore the grounds. I got to see some jets, which were absolutely breathtaking. Just being able to say thank you to the men and women who serve our country in person has just been so incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear y'all fired up and shouting for Miss Cassidy Go.
So I want to thank you guys for having me. This has been incredible. I want to come back. I definitely want to see more of it. I feel like I got to see as much as possible in one day, but this place is massive. So I would love to come back and see more.
They are the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But what does it take to strengthen our service members? What does it take to let them know that we stand behind them, wherever they are? What does it take to bridge the distance and keep them connected to family, home, and country? And what does it take to prepare them for their future when their service to the nation is complete? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Give today at force.uso.org.
Welcome back into the Boise State Esports Arena here today for the USO Invitational Qualifiers week number 4, powered by Geico Military. Don't forget, since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform. From the moment they join through their assignments and deployments, they transition back to their communities. The USO is always by their side. We started out with the classic Florida Tech varsity holding serve in a show match, Siphon. Now we get our first match that I know you have a lot at stake, because last week you called Michigan Blue as your dark horse team. Started out 1-1. They're now 2-1. They get to take on a team that we haven't seen a whole lot of. Hood College, we saw them once in a show match that really spoke to what we talked about is don't show anything. They took on Florida Tech varsity. It was like 3 minutes into overtime. Nobody scored. Nobody really took any shots. So we don't know what to expect from this team. But for Michigan, we know what to expect, and it starts with one name, and that is Ventex.
Yeah, Ventex is definitely basically the fulcrum of what Michigan want to do, whether it's defensively or offensively. He is basically how they do anything, whether it's starting the break, making a big play, and then immediately looking to go on the offensive. It is basically all running through Ventex, and there's a reason why I've called Michigan my dark horse, and it's because they're hotter than probably anybody. They haven't given up a goal in their last, I believe it's 4 or 5 games now.
Yeah, back-to-back shutouts, back-to-back 2-0s, as you mentioned. We didn't see their first game they lost, by the way. We have not seen Michigan on stream be scored on. So you totally hit the nail on the head. As we start to get into this game, we've talked a lot about how this, we're looking for the top 8. We do have our standings here, at least the top 10 teams. We want to take a look at the standings here and kind of see where everybody shakes up, because we're starting to get that breakdown. As we take a look here, we see, as we mentioned, if you missed last week or you didn't hear, Abstract is team bolted. That is not a new team. We have Eclipse Esports. Those two will be playing each other. But we see here these 2-1 squads, Michigan and Hood College. Of course, the order of the 2-1 squads might not be official. 3-1, I feel like, really gets you in, because you only have to win one of your next 2 games to get to that 4-2 mark that I feel like is a guarantee. So this is a really big game for both these teams.
It really is, and it's also going to put you further in contention for a higher seed as well, as you have these 3-0 teams. Eventually, they're going to continue to drop off. UTD, Eclipse, and Team Bolted, they're all going to start playing each other. Obviously this week 2 of them are playing each other, but it's going to be really interesting to see how that shakes out. But you think you're right, the 4-2 mark definitely will be the most important.
Well, let's get into it. Michigan and Hood College here in a best-of-3. A ton on the line between 2-1 teams. Michigan in the blue with Nickel, Ventex, and Big Ol' Bobcat. Hood College in the orange. We haven't seen too much of them, but a great demo from Ventex sets up Big Ol' Bobcat.
And Big Ol' Bobcat looks like he's going to be interested in scoring goals here, and we pointed that out last week for Michigan. That's where they need to take the next step. Give Ventex some goal scoring help. Big Ol' Bobcat finishes a great chance set up by Ventex. It's going to be 18 seconds in, rather. I can't get the numbers right in my head, as Ventex is going to take this one in the air already. He's going to go for an aerial. What a finish! What control! Oh, my!
We talk, just get this man some help, because look what he can do with the ball solo. There's no defense for that for Hood College. Michigan has a 2-0 lead. Ventex balling out. My man's got a shot, a goal, a demo that led to the other goal. And off the kickoff, Big Ol' Bobcat wants to play here. A great start, but it looks like Michigan's just going to let all caps reset this one.
Yeah, here comes Nadertot. He's going to sit one towards the goal. Good recovery from Ventex, as now he's going to come back over the wall here, going over to Big Ol' Bobcat. Looks to play it around the corner wall. Big Ol' Bobcat wins the ball back again. Here's Nickel now getting involved in the play, popping it up, waiting back for Ventex. Ventex not able to win that 50-50. It's going to instead go to Nadertot.
Nadertot can't quite keep it alive, slamming off the wall, but thanks to that demo, rotations were messed up. Ventex over to Big Ol' Bobcat. How does he get that ball? But luckily it's stopped by all caps. That was a scary moment there for Hood College.
Yeah, it definitely was. There's another ball waiting here to be found by someone here. It's going to be taken by Big Ol' Bobcat. Sent back to Ventex, and now here he goes, most dangerous in the air. He's able to slip it past one defender, but he lost possession of the ball. Nickel pops it up. That's dangerous, Michigan! concedes for the first time.
Great job here. Just a kind of a weird double commit. Nickel, I think, was looking for the pass back. Nadertot gets a great goal in. Have been told that our star player apparently doesn't want us to forget about the U in his name siphon. It is Uventex. Or Uventix, sorry. Uventix. I'm sorry. You're just such a good player. We're mesmerized by your play as Nickel comes racing in. Big ol' Bobcat tries to help him out, but it gets cleared back.
Here comes Uventix now as he comes across, makes a man miss, and now plays it back, but he lost the ball high off the corner wall as Hood College looking to try to get an equalizer here. They win it back again, and here comes Nadertot, but big ol' Bobcat able to win the ball back. Great shot there from all caps. Nickel had to remain strong in the goal.
Ooh, Nickel and big ol' Bobcat both go for it. Nickel ends up coming out on top, wants to dribble it downfield. Stopped by Nadertot, but the ball's still going in that direction. Uventix can't get high enough for it. Yes, he can, never mind. Big ol' Bobcat with the great dunk. Nickel looking for the open goal, but he just takes a very poor angle on it.
Yeah, Slammin now going to take it. He's going to hold this one up, slow things down here. Ventex tries to go win the ball back. Instead, All Caps going to go after it here. He's going to send it forward off the back wall, squares up for the goal. Nickel plays the defender instead of the ball, and it's going to fall to big old Bobcat here at center. Nickel going to have to control this again. Dangerous position to turn it over, and he nearly gave up a goal.
Great stop by big old Bobcat. Uventix now going to look to dribble it upfield. Big old Bobcat runs into him, but now a great shot by Nickel. That was just a weird play.
Yeah, but it was a good read on it by Nickel. He sees an opportunity to maybe get this one up, and he puts himself in position to block the shot, and he instead pops it over all defenders there, and Hood College got caught with too many players forward there, and they now trail by 2. That's a huge goal for Michigan. It kind of will turn the momentum back in their favor as All Caps immediately tries to get a goal back. A dangerous position there as that ball's a little bit unlucky on the bounce there for Hood College as they can keep it, though, as Slammin knocks it away.
Oh, huge double demo. Uventix misses the open net. We talked about this last week. The open net goals seem to be the hardest for our players in week 3, and that trend continuing in week 4. Is Slammin now dribbling it upfield. Nickel, though, just going to steal that one away.
That's a great bounce there off the wall. Looking for Uventix, and instead it's going to come back here. Good setup here from big old Bobcat. Looking for Uventix again on the return, but instead it's going to be going the other direction here for Hood College. Can Nickel take this away? No, but Uventix will. He tries to clear it away, though. Held onto by Slammin. He goes for the aerial. Sets up 1-2. Great defending from Michigan as they hold the line.
Nadertot looking to help out a teammate. Big old Bobcat throws Slammin just enough off his line. Uventix gets a nice steal, but All Caps with great, jumping on the ball there, but it gets cleared away in the end.
I think that was Michigan taking themselves out there on a double commit as they ran into each other. Now here comes Hood College sending it forward. Nickel gonna play this one. Gets past one defender, controlling it, gets it past another one, does a flip for effect, and now he plays it forward here. Going to instead be taken by Nadertot as big old Bobcat will turn it around here, try to get things going again for Michigan. 1 minute remains, and a nice read there from Uventix will take the ball away.
But College needs a goal. Uventix has other ideas, racing against Nadertot, but he can't quite readjust the ball in time. Nickel looking for one more, but they all over pursued. They've got to retreat quickly as Slammin with a huge clear.
Yeah, and Uventix will turn around, try to play this one. He wins the first 50-50, gets the next one over to big old Bobcat, who plays it back for Nickel, who will send it forward towards the center wall. Big old Bobcat will pop it forward here off the back wall. It's held up here by Nadertot, but it's going to now be battled for. Uventix wins it once, twice, sets up big old Bobcat for a fourth for Michigan.
That has to be the nail in the coffin. Look at Uventix, 1v2, great touch over to big old Bobcat. Scores his second goal of the game. Fourth for Michigan, and with 21 seconds left, not much Hood College can do. This kickoff, if they have any hope of a comeback, has to go in the back of the net. Slammin playing it slow, needs a goal right here, but it's denied by big old Bobcat. The ball just gets taken away by Michigan.
Yeah, here comes big old Bobcat now in the air, plays it into the corner, and it's going to be 5 seconds remaining here as it looks like it's all in conclusion. Nickel will add another one as well. 5-1 Michigan.
That's what we talked about. We mentioned it when big old Bobcat scored his first goal. Uventix just needs some goal scoring assistance for this team to really elevate, and that's what he got here, at least in game number 1. A pair of goals from Nickel, a pair of goals from big old Bobcat. And as our timer rolls down to 0, Michigan will claim game number 1. Their shutout streak is broken but it does not matter at the end. Don't forget, this tournament powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces in Siphon. Shutout streak broken. I don't think Michigan cares. A dominant win nonetheless, and we got some plays from big old Bobcat Nichols to set up Juventex, who is just an insane solo player in his own right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what we've been looking for Michigan. Get some other help here for Juventus to finish some of these opportunities, and they definitely did that in this game. I'm very impressed with what big old Bobcat was doing here. I think the concern for Michigan was always going to be, how are they going to fare when they concede a goal? How are they going to be when they are actually pressured and actually, challenged in some way? And they definitely were here, and I think while the scoreline may not end up reflecting the closeness of the middle minutes there, it definitely was looking like it was going to be a tie game, and then what are you going to do after that? But Michigan held tough. They found a way to get a couple of goals on the board. Give themselves some breathing room here, and we'll be interested to see how Game 2 plays out. You
made a great point there too. This 5-point scoreline, I don't think is indicative of how close probably from minute 4 till minute 1 this game was, and also how good a defense overall it felt like Hood College plays. Because Hood College feels a lot like Michigan. Their defense is going to keep them in almost every game. Of course, this scoreline kind of got out of control. They just need to generate some offense. It felt like their scoring chances were few and far between, but right off the kickoff for Game 2, all caps Lobs was on net, slamming one more time, but Juventus able to deny a third shot right off the bat, and now take a long goal.
Yeah, that's a great play. Juventus gets the demo down. It is briefly numbers advantage here. Cleared away again. End-to-end chances right now. Juventus, can he find a way to get on the other side of it? No, he can't. As now Nadertot looking to get it out of trouble, but he's not able to hold that in. And now here comes big old Bobcat. What a great maneuver off the top crossbar. He deserves so much better.
Nadertot looking to capitalize. Great pinch now right in front of the Michigan net. But big old Bobcat, huge clear. Slamming, though, is there. Gets a great pass to Nadertot. Back on the give and go, but it bounces over his head. All caps gets one touch. Nickel gets demoed, but he gets the huge clear for Michigan.
What will Michigan do here? They elect to slow play it. They wait for Nickel to come up. Now here comes the press as they force a mistake already. But instead, they're going to be caught out here potentially. And they're able to get back as big old Bobcat will knock it into the air. But he loses possession. A slam it will keep it in. And Nickel will clear it away.
Great job there by Nadertot, trying to make a solo play happen. Juventus not quite able to clear the ball away. Stolen by Salam, and there's Nickel once again, the MVP. Gets a great clear till Nadertot takes possession.
And it's going to be big old Bobcat over to Juventus. Here he goes, and he just almost left it perfectly as it's going to be cleared away by Slammin. Kept alive by Nickel. He'll pay the price for it, though, as Slammin now tries to get it out. Juventus will not let it, and now Juventus looking for big old Bobcat on the cross. Not going to be found there. Tried to clear out again as Nickel keeping it in here as big old Bobcat guides it to the corner.
All caps now, trying to get a pass to a teammate, but neither Slammin nor Nadertot saw it in time. That allows Nickel with a great setup. Here comes big old Bobcat, but he misses on the ball. Juventus, one more chance, just a weak lob on net, looking for a second touch. Kind of throws everybody off their rhythm. Now big old Bobcat misses on it as well. This ball must be greased up because nobody can get a square touch on it.
Wow, Juventus with great defending right there. Makes the big save, gets it around the second defender. It is 2-on-1, and he can't get it past the defender either. Defense is reigning supreme here despite a lot of quality challenges early on in this game. As Nadertot gonna try to break the deadlock here. Bounces off the corner wall, plays it for the near post. Nickel will knock it away. Juventus gets it cleared away, but it's gonna be held in. Now it's cleared away. Juventus gets behind the defense here. Try to play it in the ball. He's denied by the post as well. And we are still level.
Slammin with a great pass over to Nadertot. They launch it downfield. Nickel gonna stop it at midfield. One more chance here for all caps. Gets a great double touch with big old Bobcat. Will just knock that out of harm's way. And Juventus will recenter. Big old Bobcat now. One man to beat, but Slammin makes another fantastic save.
And it's going to go over to the corner wall here. Great hit on it from Juventus. It's going to come off that back wall, and instead it's going to be played back towards center here by all caps. He loses possession to Nickel in the air. Nadertot now has to get on the end of this. He manages to guide it away from Juventus. All caps takes out Nickel, and now all of a sudden it's a numbers advantage here. Can Juventus win the ball back? He does initially. Big save from big old Bobcat will keep us level.
Huge demo, though. Chance here for Hood College. Just lobbed downfield by Juventus. Now slamming. Great touch on it. We've got almost a game of volleyballs. This ball's going back and forth. No one's really getting possession. Big ol' Bobcat with a huge miss. Centered up for nobody. Juventus just bombs it away.
Yeah, here comes Juventus now trying to get on the end of that cross instead. Going to be set back the other direction in his own zone. Dangerous chance for Naderton. Opportunity there. And it's going to be denied as he just bounces away from him. And now here comes Juventus. Going to have another opportunity here. Plays it in the air. Lost it though. I think he got a little bit too fancy on that occasion.
Oh, great center here. Big old Bobcat with a touch. 60 seconds left before overtime. Who can break this tie? They get a demo onto Nickel. That's going to be trouble as slamming now. Almost had a wide open net. Just couldn't find the ball quick enough.
And here comes Juventus. He loses out though on the 50-50. Hood College applying the pressure here. But Nickel with a great series of moves in the air will get it out to safety as Slammin now has to turn this one and start this attack. He manages to squeak that past Juventus as big old Bobcat re-intercepts it, goes for the near post, and it's going to be denied.
Huge clear, huge demo. 30 seconds left. Juventus with a great double tap. Looking for one more, but he gets blown up and can't get the pass away. He'll respawn right in front of his own teammate. Scary spot to be. Big old Bobcat taking way too long, but no punish from Hood College.
Nickel now pops it in the air. He's getting it towards the goal. Knocked away by Nadertot. Big old Bobcat centers it for Juventus.
Oh!
He slips it through the defender. Are you kidding me?
How does Juventus do it? Big ol' Bobcat with just seconds remaining. Slamming, I think, even got a touch on it.
My.
5 seconds left for Hood College, all that separates them from 2-2 after an insanely hard-fought game, but a huge whiff on the kickoff from big ol' Bobcat gives Hood College one last chance, but Juventus gets a great steal. Slammin has to keep it alive, and he can't do it. And Michigan comes out on top in a defensive struggle. Oh my goodness, we kept saying over and over, Siphon, game one is not truly showing how close this series was. Game two was exactly that.
Yeah, it definitely was, and honestly, that's really unlucky there from Hood College to not get anything from that, not even a game. I mean, they deserve so much more from those games that we saw there, and honestly, it honestly felt like Michigan was starting to get pushed further and further and further back in their own end, and they couldn't get out nearly as cleanly. Then they finally have an opportunity and a heartbreaker for Hood College.
Absolutely wild game there for both those teams. Michigan moving to 3-1. I think they are in a great chance here. Of course, we've talked about 4-2. You're probably feeling pretty confident, so you only have to go 1-1 in your next couple games. Hood College at 2-2. They deserve just, again, if match score comes down to it, as you mentioned, they don't get a game in that series. So if you look back, you can say, oh, it's a 2-0. That could hurt you in a long time in a tiebreaker if match score ends up being a factor, because that was absolutely crazy. Again, Juventus with a fantastic play, but big old Bobcat Nickel, especially defensively Nickel, who's not going to get enough credit, had some insane clears, some insane plays. Absolutely wild. And guess what, Siphon? We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back with a show match, and Michigan better take this break really, really well, because they're going to be right back. They have agreed to play TSB Gaming in a show match, so we'll get to see more of Michigan, more of Juventus. It's all coming up right after this.
Nice to be able to come to the USO and have all this, lounge kind of atmosphere provided for you. We were playing Call of Duty on the zombie mode, basically getting to run our own little zombie apocalypse teams.
Good place to kind of blow off some steam, a way to kind of feel like you're back at home while you're away. We enjoy all different sorts of types of games, first-person shooters especially, because it kind of relates to what we do.
You get to the video games, dudes are still communicating, trying to make sure somebody's covering every avenue, and it ends up being probably a little bit more technical than your average gamer.
USOs over here are great because they're a great opportunity to get Wi-Fi, get some connection back home.
Everything is really great about the USO. I like movies a lot, and they always have movies. They have like pool and darts. I love coming out here when I get the chance, and thanks for bringing everything to us.
The reason I continue to work with the USO and coming back is for the same reason that the USO keeps doing what they do. It's because we have men and women that are serving. As long as they allow me to be a part of it, and as long as I'm physically able, I'm going to give it everything I can. I've had such a blessed career in the music industry, and that career came after my military career. So I feel like I have this personal relationship not only as a soldier, but as a civilian. And I want to continue to utilize that relationship to hopefully entertain and communicate with these people that are serving in our armed forces in such a way that they never forget that our country truly does care for them and their service.
Break for, so I didn't like want to power. Qualifiers week number 4, powered by Geico Military. It's already been an absolutely wild day. We have some great matches ahead of us, and this next match, just a show match though, and really a great shout out to Michigan, because we just saw their crazy series against Hood College that, even though it was a 2-0, game 2 felt like it was almost 3 or 4 games combined. Now they're going to take on TSB as Fish and Siphon here calling all of the action. So, again, a show match. Michigan, you know, I'm not going to say they don't care if they win or lose, but they're not going to be as worried as when they took on Hood College. But still, to go back-to-back Rocket League Siphon, that's going to take a lot out of you.
Yeah, it definitely is, I think. But I think also this gives them the opportunity to work on some things. I think there were some times where they didn't look entirely on the same page, which is new for them, because typically they had at least looked on the same page, if lacking a few ideas on how to approach certain aspects of the game in their previous weeks. But I think this gives them the opportunity to kind of continue to work on their chemistry a little bit, work on their timings, and just kind of work on understanding what they want to do here. But they can afford to be very vanilla here. They don't really, obviously, since it's a show match, it doesn't affect them anyway. But I think that they really could look to take away some positive things from this, especially given how they've got some recent performance to go off of.
100% agree. I think the one thing that will be very interesting, we've seen in show matches, the scoring has usually been pretty low. As you mentioned, teams maybe showing that vanilla game plan. Michigan just doesn't allow goals, period. Their consecutive shutout streak broken, but in the 6 games we've seen them on stream, they have allowed 1 total goal, which is absolutely wild. So I'm very curious how TSB is going to be able to break that defensive hold again. I think Big Ol' Bobcat, as maligned as he has been scoring, hitting crossbars, missing open nets, his defensive play, especially in Game 2 against Hood College, was absolutely insane, and I think Nickel slots in well. He's not going to be a playmaker. He's not going to be a star. He's just a solid midfield player. He gets great clears, he gets great setups, and I've been told we're almost ready to go. So whenever we hop in, it'll be Michigan and TSB. It will be a show match. Michigan officially moves to 3-1, a fantastic place to be. Siphon's dark horse pick, almost looking like a favorite at this point. He snuck on right before stock prices went up. So we hop into this show match here with Michigan and TSB, and we start off with who else but Juventix with a great start.
Nearly already got a quick goal there as Big Ol' Bobcat holds the play up. Gonna bring it back at his own end as Nickel pops it forward again, maybe looking for a different angle potentially as Juventix hops it short. He lost the ball. Nickel with a big recovery.
Nickel trying to dribble this one upfield, gets stopped by a freak as that ball gets cleared over to the corner. Big Ol' Bobcat though, nice corral, nice clear, looking for one more touch, and he'll do just that.
Wow, that was a very interesting bounce there after what looked to be a pretty heavy hit on the ball. Instead, it's a pretty short one as Nickel now comes forward here. Try to play this one forward here, waiting for a Big Ol' Bobcat who not able to get it on the end of that ball. And now here comes Freak looking to try to find something here, but instead he's going to play it high and lose it to Nickel.
Still Michigan not able to find it clear. As I say that though, Juventix gets a great start. Demo by Big Ol' Bobcat. Nickel racing in. His shot will go wide though. Is there any follow-up for Michigan? There is not. Juventix now comes in, sets it up perfectly. He just needs a teammate, and that teammate is Big Ol' Bobcat.
Great sequence there from Michigan. It was a good shot initially from from Nickel, and that's really what they got to do. They got to get the ball deep, so then they're allowed to set up their press, and they managed to get the ball back. Great play from Juventix off the wall, and he manages to find Big Ol' Bobcat for the score. Michigan now lead 1-0 as the ball is going to come back into their hand as they don't quite win that face-off, as now Brock going to try to find something.
Oh, Freak nearly scores, but Nickel ends up with a fantastic save. This Michigan defense is lights out. Now Nickel down to Juventix off the back wall. Big Ol' Bobcat, his attempt goes high as well. TSB able to clear it away for now. Juventix looking for one more. He's got big old Bobcat near the middle of the field. It's a one-on-one, but he gets bumped out of the way.
And now Nickel, though, wins the ball back there for Michigan, so they can get that press recycled, get their rotations out. And now here comes Ventex and big old Bobcat. It's going to be Ventex trying to center that ball. Nickel got on the end of it, nearly stuck it through an entirety of TSB. And instead, it's going to be bounced short here. Nickel with a good job to spike it into the ground. Plays it past 1, 2. Knocked away from him there, high in the air. Big old Bobcat tries to play it, leaves it for Juventex, and it's going to be crossed back for Nickel. He gets on the end of it, but going wide.
So many chances for Michigan here. Big old Bobcat with the reset over to Nickel. It's a little bit high, so big old Bobcat will just clear it out of the way. Barcelona now with a great chance here, gets a huge demo, but Nickel will make the first save.
And now it's another shot high off the crossbar, going to be knocked wide. And now big old Bobcat looks to start the break. He's going to flip this one high. Gets it past one defender, trying to get it to Juventex instead. It's going to bounce away from him here. Now Barcelona will be controlling it for just a moment. Big old Bobcat intercepts high in the air. Juventex wins the ball back, leaves it for big old Bobcat, and the dynamic duo are at it again.
Big old Bobcat, and we challenged him to score more goals, help out Juventix, and that's exactly what he has done. Juventix gets a touch, might have also bumped Barcelona out of the way, put him in the free fall we saw there at the end of that replay. 2-0 lead here for Michigan, and that's probably all they need, as their defense has been lights out in this tournament, show match or not. Juventix going to center it down for Nickel, whose shot turned away right away.
And here comes big old Bobcat now. Gonna look back here, turns it over to Barcelona. It's going to be knocked in the air by Juventix. Here comes Freak now across, looking to set up potentially for one of his teammates, and he tries to hold it up. No one's going for this ball here. Finally, it's going to be taken by big old Bobcat. Barcelona tries to come back to play it. One forward again by Juventix. Played in the corner. Juventix off the back wall, looking for Nickel. He shoots it, he squeaks it in.
I gotta see this. I don't know how Nickel snuck this in. I don't know if it ends up going off of somebody for their TSB. Wow, that was just a right off the, sometimes the crossbar rolls it in, sometimes the crossbar rejects you. We've seen both, Siphon. That one looked like Nickel got some help from the friendly crossbar as Juventix with a huge kickoff win. Big old Bobcat, though, once the hat trick, can't find it to start.
Well, the crossbar is a fan of good defense, so that might be what it is. You know, that's how you get on the good side of the crossbars. Juventix now trying to play it down here, looking to cut back in on it, but Barcelona will deal with it and knock it away into the corner, avoids another Michigan press, but big old Bobcat wins it back. Juventix knocks it forward, and now here comes the offensive attack from Michigan. Knocked in the air, Nickel knocked out of the way. Big old Bobcat will go for it now, and it has to be dealt with there by Freak.
Oh, it's looking for a clear. Nickel going to end up with that ball, but right into the lap of Barcelona, who launches it down. Big old Bobcat with just a great defensive touch, pushes it away. Freak not able to find anything, and we're down under a minute here. Michigan comfortably in control. Barcelona's shot not even close.
Yeah, here comes Nickel now. He knocks it forward here off the back wall. Good work there from Nickel as he will now leave it there. Juventix comes back for it here, plays it high off the back wall, centering it. That's a double shot. Oh, and he's going to get it in.
This is just a great team play here. Big old Bobcat and Nickel. That wasn't even a pinch. That was just a both want to score the ball. Nickel ends up getting credit. And Michigan, this team looks better and better every single game. 4-0 lead on TSB. After just coming off a win over Hood College, fatigue doesn't even look like it's an issue for this squad. As Juventix looking for another goal. Nickel now with a touch, but a huge clear. Open net opportunity for Brock, but he just loses the ball up in the air.
And Brock knocks it down, though. Maybe he could find something. Not able to on that occasion. Freak now going to try to at least get a goal back on the board here. Michigan win the ball back, though. Barcelona trying to keep it here within reason. Maybe get a goal back. Freak gets the demo down. Here comes Brock now. Spikes it into the ground, but it has no pace at all. Barcelona tries to go win it back in the air. Knocked forward. Juventix may be able to just add one more, and he is not able to guide it in off the top. Michigan win comfortably again.
Don't forget that this tournament is powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces. Show match here as we're about halfway through week number 4 of the USO Invitational Qualifier, powered by Geico Military. As we said, Michigan did take down Hood College really just moments ago to move to 3-1. Gracious enough to have a show match here against TSB, where even though it's a show match, it's really same old Michigan siphon. They put up goals slowly at times, and then they eventually get going. But that defense, big old Bobcat, Nichols, and Juventix, is just lights out. Again, we have watched them play 7 games on stream. They have allowed 1 goal total so far.
Yeah, they definitely have, and I think something that's really big to consider here is, obviously, we know how good Juventix is. We've obviously also challenged big old Bobcat as well to get more goals, and he's provided that, and he's also been a great, second piece in terms of hitting as a dynamic duo either on the press with Ventex or defensively when Ventex is able to win the ball back, but it's instantly, going towards their own goal like we saw in their series with Hood College. But I think the unsung part here is going to be Nickel, because Nickel obviously is not a playmaker by any means, but he's been a very solid defender. He's also, but I think what's big is he's been comfortable on the ball. He's been able to take it, and he's been able to get it out of danger. And as it looks like we're going back in again here with Michigan and TSB going at it again.
Second game of the show match. See if Michigan can win their second game tonight. Again, they only play 1 game officially per week, but we have had some show matches here, and they're a great time for teams to show off as big old Bobcat wins that kickoff with ease. Here comes Nickel. We just talked about him, and he scores first.
Right place, right time. Good setup here. Great win initially by big old Bobcat off the face-off, and it's just going to be Nickel here. Going to pop this one in, and not really any recognition from TSB of the danger of that shot until it's too late.
You mentioned Nickel. I mean, again, not saying that he's not good when we say not a playmaker. He's just so solid. You don't expect him to make a flashy goal like we've seen from Juventix, but he's in the right place at the right time. He's so comfortable with the ball in his hands, or really on his bumpers. He gets another fantastic stop, pops it up in the air for big old Bobcat, and once again, this Michigan defense remains solid. Brock, though, one more opportunity. Ball bouncing around. Nickel waiting for his opportunity to clear, but the ball takes an awkward hop, and he still just takes it out of harm's way.
Yeah, he lost it there on the challenge to Freak, though, but Juventix will get this one out of danger. Now looks for big old Bobcat, who will guide this one into the corner. Can Michigan get their defense established here? It's going to be Brock now trying to cut out Nickel here towards the inside. And now Juventix guides it forward for big old Bobcat. That's a good hit on it from big old Bobcat, and it had to be dealt with there by Freak. And it's a poor hit there from Brock. Turns it over to Juventix at the center field line, but Freak's able to guide it over.
Nickel corrals this ball in the corner, but a nice challenge from Brock. Nickel not phased, gets it over to Juventix. Unfortunately, Freak just steals that one away if you're a Michigan fan. Big old Bobcat now looking for a clear around Barcelona. Ball popped up near midfield. Brock takes advantage, a great bump out of the way. We got a 1-1 game.
I still thought Nickel may have been able to make a play on that ball, but it was a great late adjustment there from Brock, or excuse me, from Freak, as Nickel nearly was still knocked right into position. Instead, though, it's going to be Michigan conceding for the second time on stream here today, and it's going to be a tie game here. 3:45 left in regulation. That's dangerous. Juventix has to already deal with a chance off the kickoff.
Juventix can't even get the clear. Freak gonna come in. Now it's Nickel's turn. Long lob down. Brock, though, immediately clears it back to the blue side. Now Juventix looking to carry it the length of the field. Gets a touch on it over to big old Bobcat, but it is all wide of the net. Now it ends up in a crazy spot. Nickel looked for an opportunity. Couldn't find it. Danger here for Michigan, but Juventix forces the ball to go to the corner.
Yeah, here comes Michigan again now, trying to get the attack started. Brock not able to hold the play up. Here comes big old Bobcat looking for Juventix. Back to Nickel, back to Juventix. Nickel one more time, and too many passes maybe, as now it's going to be Brock going to go back the other direction here. It's going to be lost as Michigan trying to get this one forward one more time here. Back to big old Bobcat. He shoots it. It's going to be near post too high. Juventix not able to get to it in the air. Can Nickel hold it in? No, he can't, but big old Bobcat's back to defend.
Juventix looking to corral this one, gets a great touch, but Brock with a nice challenge near midfield. Big old Bobcat, great pinch off the wall. Barcelona with a huge miss. Big old Bobcat, a one-on-one, over pursues the ball. Nickel rips a shot on net and ends up getting it cleared away, though, by the Freak. We stay in a 1-1 game.
Now it's going to be a great shot there from Barcelona. Just hits the post and knocks out. Now here comes big old Bobcat, wins the ball back. Now he's gonna play it along the wall, sends it forward. Barcelona intercepts. Can Nickel win this ball back for Michigan? Yes, he can, but Freak intercepts it one more time, looking to combine with Barcelona, who is still snake bit on that crossbar, as now Freak holds it up one more time, but it's gonna be taken by big old Bobcat, who gets it out of danger.
Barcelona immediate with a clear back. Can they find a goal this time? No. Juventix carrying it down. One man to beat it is Freak. Ball's wide. Here comes Nickel to redirect it. Big old Bobcat just gets enough on it to recenter it, but Barcelona with a huge blast down to the blue side, forcing out a reset from everybody.
Here comes Juventix now, gonna go forward here, leaving it there for Nickel. Nickel gets the shot down, it's gonna be wide, but played again by Nickel, popped in the air. Here comes big old Bobcat, that's a great touch on it, but a phenomenal defensive play, and Juventix gets it over the line.
4 attempts for Michigan. Big old Bobcat with a great setup there. Brock just can't get to that ball, and Juventix finds just insane ways to score. Michigan out in front, still 90 seconds left in game 2 of our show match here. Plenty of time for TSB, though scoring against Michigan can be very tough, and they seem to pour it on late in games. What can Nickel do? He's getting blocked out by Brock. What a great setup there to prevent Nickel from getting a second hit on it.
Yeah, but Juventix, that's the man. You don't want to have the ball. That could have just been very unfortunate, and it's too high. Everybody's missing. Nickel finally puts it away.
Not the clear you were looking for there if you're a TSB fan. You put the ball on net. Nickel's not going to miss the wide open goal.
He's not allergic to scoring on the open goal. So
no, that's good. That's good to know in the future for Michigan.
That's definitely a good thing to know. As here comes Juventix now slowing it down along the wall. Now he presses the go button here, just takes it towards that far post, and he loses it, and then he gets demolished. But Nickel wins the ball back, keeps it alive here for Michigan. Big old Bobcat trying to leave it over that line. Now Nickel gets to it first. Nickel trying to send it back in. That's a great setup for Michigan. Big old Bobcat coming in. He can't get it. Can Juventix get it? Maybe he can. He squeaks it down. Denied on the goal line as TSB hold the line.
TSB needs offense, not defense, though. Recentered right in front. Brock with a long lob down, but Juventix makes the save. Now looking to clear it up midfield. Gets it past Barcelona, still carrying the dribble. Ball's wide of the net, but a bad touch there by TSB. Puts it right in front. 2 shots go wide. Juventix coming in, but it's stolen away by Barcelona.
Bit of an unfortunate bounce there for TSB, but they're able to deal with it comfortably now. And here they go again. It's going to be sent forward towards the goal. Big old Bobcat is there. Can't get on the end of it, though. And now here comes TSB for one last attack. And they leave it short, and Nickel will take it now. Trying to play it forward as TSB trying to get one more goal, but it's going to be knocked around, knocked away. Michigan now trying to get it away. Maybe they want an extra goal here, and they're going to get it. Big old Bobcat with the credit.
I think this might be Nickel actually bumping somebody into it. Let's get it. Yeah, Nickel might have actually hit Barcelona into it. Big old Bobcat gets credit as the last Michigan player to score. And Michigan comes out victorious here in the USO Invitational Qualifier week number 4. Of course, that was just a show match. Michigan already took down Hood College in their actual match. Fish and Siphon here calling all of the action. Again, Michigan style, we basically figured it out at this point. They're going to let Juventix kind of do whatever magic he can. Big old Bobcat will assist. Nickel, I thought, was phenomenal in that series. And they just don't allow goals, and I think that's what makes this team so scary, especially at 3-1. We went from dark horse where you bought in, you got stocks at the all-time low. I mean, this is a top 3 team, it feels like, in Michigan.
You know, it definitely does feel like a top 3 team in the making, and that's really, just because it's come down to, just the fact that this is such a solid team. They suffered that first week loss, and when you have that loss in the first week, it just kind of it puts you in the lower bracket for so long. It's so hard to climb out of that, but they finally have started stringing those wins together. They are now 3-1. They're looking really good here to try to qualify, as they now only need one more victory, and they're, I would imagine, going to be mathematically pretty locked in for the top 8.
And we'll have to see how the standings look after, this night ends. And speaking of top 3, there are 3 undefeated teams left right now. 2 of them are going to be taking each other on. It's Team Volted, formerly known as Team Abstract, taking on Eclipse Esports. Both of them have been doing a fantastic job so far, both 3-0. Yeah, if we want to take a look at the standings here, show where everybody does line up as we wait to get into game. That's set to kick here in just a few minutes, so we will stick with it the whole time. But these teams also feel like if you, no matter who wins this between Volted and Eclipse, you move to 4-0. That I feel like, to me, Siphon will be our first automatic qualifier, because even if you lose 2, 4-2 feels good, but to know you only have to win maybe one more, because 5-1 is going to be a lock. There's no way we're going to have more than 8 teams at 5-1. I think this is a huge game, because if you win, you can just cruise the rest of the season.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's the case. I mean, it shows you were the best in your group, and it allows you time for some experimentation. I definitely think that this is a very important game here, and it'll be interesting to see the result of it because, you know, next week you're going to get UTD. The winner of this most likely gets UTD, assuming they are also going to be 4-0. And I think that's going to be the question here, is who's going to end up clinching their spot mathematically into the top 8 here. And very interesting also to think about that UTD has actually not played an undefeated team in quite some time. They've actually they've been the odd man out each time the bracket has been redrawn. And they've always played a team below. So it'll be interesting to see if UTD maybe is out of form once they end up playing an undefeated team next week, because they've not really played what we would consider to be the upper echelon of these teams.
Yeah, we saw UTD struggle with Florida Tech Varsity last week, and Florida Tech Varsity is 1-2, as you mentioned. Swiss bracket, we try and pair records up, but when there's 3 undefeated teams, of course we can't have a 3-way Rocket League game. That would just be all sorts of silly. So as you said, UTD has been very lucky. I'll be curious. We will not be able to see their game if they do end up winning off stream, and then they move to 4-0. They'll play the winner of this, and I think you're right. That's something to keep in mind. But 4-0 is a great place to be regardless, because we talk about top 8 so much. The other thing we do have to recognize, Siphon, is once those top 8 teams qualified, they'll be seeded for the USO Invitational, $10,000 on the line, based on their finish order here. So for some teams like Wyoming, who we'll see later today, potentially like Florida Tech, Varsity, or even the JV team, getting that top 8 is your goal. For teams like Team Volted, Eclipse Esports, and then UTD, who we won't see, if you're that number 1 seed, you have a better shot in the next tournament, which is really where your focus has got to be, because getting top 8 here is nice, but it's that $10,000 prize pool you want. So number 1 seed here, that's still a very big thing. You don't just want to cruise here if you win, like, we're qualified. I don't care if we're the 7 seed or the 8 seed. The number 1 seed is going to get advantages in the next tournament.
Yeah, they definitely are, and I think that that's something to be considering here as well. That number 1 seed needs to be the goal, for a lot of these top teams, these top 2 or 3 teams, because it's going to make such a difference for the next, phase of the tournament. And I think that's something that they have to keep their eyes on here. And I think that's why, while, when you move to 4-0, we'll see a little bit more experimentation, but I think we're still going to see a lot of these teams try to push for a higher seed.
And as we get ready to go into this, as we said, it is, Team Volted taking on Eclipse Esports. Eclipse Esports has been a fantastic team. We've seen them a couple times. Team Volted, of course, formerly Team Abstract, now got picked up by Volted. So that's kind of one of the teams that it's interesting to see when you have that sort of mid-tournament shift in organization, how that works. But here is our standings, as we mentioned. Team Volted and Eclipse Esports, we are just moments away from hopping in. We feel like at 4-0 in a 6-week format, that pretty much guarantees you a spot. Michigan moving up to 3-1, Hood College down to 2-2. We'll also see teams like Chad's, Escape Velocity. We'll even see Wyoming in our final game of the night, who comes in at the tied for number 10 down there at the very bottom of our standings. Of course, there are more teams, just not able to display all of them. Very interesting lineup here, and again, 4-0 is very interesting. As you said, I'm curious which 2-1 team UT Dallas got, because we've seen a lot of them, and UT Dallas hasn't been that convincing. We can easily see whoever wins this as our final undefeated team, Siphon, and then that opens up a whole new can of worms, because they're going to be favored every week, and they don't really have to worry about, if we lose to this team, we're the number 2 seed. They control their own destiny. So there's a lot at stake here between Volted and Eclipse going forward, as opposed to just being, maybe the last or the second to last undefeated team.
Yeah, there definitely is, and that's going to be big for keeping their concentration here. When you move to 4-0, you're mathematically probably secured for top 8 here for the next round. You've got to be able to keep your concentration, because your goals are bigger than that, and I think that that's something that's really going to be tested here as we wait for this game to get started.
Well, we'll just wait a little bit longer. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with more USO Invitational Qualifiers. Week number 4, it's all coming up after this.
4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion. Though Azeroth was saved, the The tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated.
My name is MA3 Centennial, Adrian. I play World of Warcraft. Great game. I've been playing it for 14 years. My father, me and him play the same game, so it gives us a chance to talk to one another while also interacting with one another in a different type of reality.
I also play World of Warcraft. My younger brother plays. I do not play with either of my two parents, though my mother very often leans over my brother's shoulder and talks to me while him and I are playing.
At the USO, they give us Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi connects us with our game systems, and our game systems allow us to see certain people or talk to certain people back home.
Neither of us like phone calls. Neither of us like talking on the phone in any sense of the word. This gives us a much more interesting way to communicate with family members and friends, and it even allows us to continue to build off the relationships that we had previously. You know, personnel rotate commands all the time. We don't always get to see them, but we can always come back to these video games and use these video games as a way to communicate, keep up, see how things have changed, how their families are doing, stuff like that. And the USO is fantastic for facilitating that. They have beautiful facilities, wonderful Wi-Fi. It helps us out a lot with not only communicating with our families, but just overall morale as well. We're in a better mood. We take that mood back to the ships. Everybody else feeds off that better mood, and USO is just it's a chain effect, and they really do help a lot.
Depending on the area of operations that we're on, sometimes you don't even get internet connection. So going a couple months without internet and then coming back to here, any way to contact my family was great.
The game itself provides an in-game chat through multiple different channels, faster than a text message, faster than Facebook Messenger.
There's a team chat, there's Discord, there's Twitch, and they're all just different programs that you can talk for free as long as you have Wi-Fi anywhere. My father, since he plays, a couple of my buddies, since they play, one of my brothers, he played for a little bit, but they all have that program. They all have a way for me to contact them back home without using cell service or anything like that. And that's one way that I constantly keep in contact with all my family. If it's not video, then it's talking through a headset.
They are the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But what does it take to strengthen our service members? What does it take to let them know that we stand behind them, wherever they are? What does it take to bridge the distance and keep them connected to family, home, and country? And what does it take to prepare them for their future when their service to the nation is complete? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Give today at force.uso.org.
Welcome back into the Boise State Esports Arena. It's week number 4 of the USO Invitational Qualifier powered by Geico Military. And we are getting ready for a heavyweight bout. It is Team Volted taking on Eclipse Esports. Both these teams sitting at 3-0. Depending on how our UT Dallas game goes that we will not see, the winner of this could be our last undefeated team of this tournament. And really at 4-0, as Saifa and I have talked about, that feels like mathematically you are in, and if you're not in, you're in a very good spot because it's only a 6-week tournament. Top 8 qualify for the USO Invitational. That's where you're trying to get into, where there's a 10,000 prize pool at the stake. So there's just waiting on it. It sounds like one of the players was about ready to go, had a computer issue, so we were just waiting to go for that. We'll see if we can hop in here at any moment. While we wait, we've talked a lot about star players. Juventix for Michigan, one of those players. You want to talk about star players? We have to take a look at Team Volted Sky. He has been absolutely phenomenal. Single-handedly, by the way, last week, winning a series for then Team Abstract, now Team Volted, putting up a hat trick in one of the games. Absolutely fantastic play by Skies.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he was the standout player, and I felt like he was my pick, for the player of the week last week. So it'll be interesting to see how he follows up, this week's performance as we get underway here between Volted and Eclipse, as it's going to be a nice long cross here for Pandy as it's going to be knocked away.
Oh, Skies gets a great win on the ball, 15 in a round. Bonjo gets demoed, though. Huge save. That was a wide open net. Your boy Rich can't get the clear, bumping, racing in, looking for the game's first goal. Scary spot to be, but they barely clear it away from Team Volted.
Here comes Skies now, knocks it forward. That's a great setup. Oh, man, not able to be finished. There's another opportunity, and Schmacked gets the first goal here for Volted.
I thought Skies had the easy goal over there to bump in, but look at Schmack. Takes advantage of the rebound and just a hectic defense there. Eclipse committing so many members to the ball, double commits, triple commits, never could find a clear. And Team Volted early on taking the lead here as a pass back to Bumpin, looking to get a touch off the wall, but your boy Rich will deny that immediately.
Here comes Bejan now, turns it over as Skies intercepts. Skies not able to finish anything though as Bumpin has to knock that ball away in the air. Here comes Pandy now, trying to bring it up high off the wall, and Schmack now knocks it forward. And Bejan keeps it in. Back to your boy Rich, who lets it go. And now here goes Bejan with a nice setup, and it's going to be cleared away. Skies now in transition. Knocks it past the defender. Beautiful finish.
What a play by Skies. This is why we highlighted him right before the game when he's got one man to beat. You can't even see him in the replay. Just lobs it on net. Defensively, early issues here for Eclipse Esports. They have allowed way too many attempts on their net. Bejan able to get that one, but immediately Skies, huge clear down, sneaks it around your boy Rich, but Pandy makes a great stop, but the pressure's still on until Pandy finds one more touch on it.
Here comes Bumpin, though. He wins it back at the center field line. Skies, though, has to make a defensive recovery here. Schmacked gets that demo down now, and he's looking to play it forward here off that back wall. Back to Skies. He shoots. It's wide. Can Bumpin follow this one up? That's a great setup from Schmacked, and Skies taps it in.
Team Volted taking charge here. Look at Bumpin, first great attempt here. Schmack sets it up. Perfect rotations. You see Bumpin already retreating. No cross-map goals allowed. Volted has taken advantage of this series between two of our better teams here in the USO Invitational Qualifiers. Is off the kickoff. Eclipse with another great opportunity. Schmack, though, clears it away around 1, 2, and your boy Rich has to make a play. Still a scary spot to be, but he'll knock it out of harm's way.
Now he's going to bring it down here, and it's going to be turned around here by Skies. He wins the ball back. Can he get it around the next defender? He can. He's got one man to beat. It's Bejan. He's out of boost, though. Bejan manages to take the ball. Now tries to get it around Bumpin. He loses out on that occasion, but he gets the full tank of boost there as your boy Rich now off that back wall. Looking for Pandy, and took an awkward bounce and goes in.
I think your boy Rich just kind of blasts this one past Skies. We take a look at the replay. Skies trying to set him up in a good spot. Yeah, ball just bounces off Sky. Your boy Rich following through the whole time. Eclipse getting on the board. Still ways to go in game number 1. Just a little under 3 minutes on the clock as Schmack. Great win off the kickoff. Bumping with a huge steal through traffic. But Skies misses the attempt. Pass over to Schmack. He'll lob one down. But Pandy looking for a pass over to Rich, but gets turned away at the midfield stripe.
Here goes Skies now. Good control of it. Manages to get high and into the corner now. Has a man open in the slot. He did anyway before Schmacked got demoed. And now Bumpin now has to try to keep the play alive here. And it's a great flick onward here. Skies has to come back, make a big save.
Banjo, another great attempt right in front of the net. Bumpin makes a save. Stolen by your boy Rich. Over to Skies. He's got two men right in the midfield. Schmack ends up taking it away. Skies sees his opportunity. Hot tricks fall once again.
This was just a crazy, jump here from Skies. Watch this ricochet. He caught so much distance on his second jump in the air. Phenomenal movement there from Skies. 4-1, and Skies is also the proud owner of a bunch of new hats. Here we go now off the kickoff here. Can Bumpin get to this ball? He's held up. Now he gets to it. Can he get it past your boy Rich? He manages to trap it in the corner, but not able to pinch away. As now here comes Schmack trying to get it back forward again. Skies now sends it forward. That's a great touch on the ball from Schmack. Not able to be finished though.
Schmack still keeps it alive somehow. Making plays all by himself. His team has bailed to get boost. Bumpin now knocked out of the way. right at that midfield line. Panty, one-on-one versus Skies. Can he beat him? The answer is no. And Bumpin wants to put up the pressure off the wall. Skies waiting for an opportunity, steals it from your boy Rich, but his shot is well wide of the net.
Here comes Schmax, trying to win the ball back. Here's Bejan now, trying to get a second goal for his team here, trying to get Eclipse back in the game. It's on the goal line. Skies saying no. Schmack trapped with him here, as now he gets it over the defense's heads. It's going to go wide of the goal here. Pandy, oh my, nearly was in danger there as Schmack tried to follow it up there. Skies one more time, but cleared away.
Bumpin denies that clear right past the midfield stripe. Banjo now, or Bejan, excuse me, going to put it right towards the goal. Skies, huge clear, nobody's there. They elevate, they can't stop the rebound. Schmack trying to force it in, 1 minute left. And Team Volton, comfortable spot.
I'm really liking these rotations here out of Team Volton, as it's creating so much havoc for Eclipse right now. They're struggling to keep it out of their own end, and as I say that, a breakdown as Eclipse gets a goal back.
We just see it at the end there. Schmack had also tried to take it away from Bumpin, but you're right, before this play, the rotations has been so clean. They hadn't allowed any cross-map goals, but time starts to tick down. You have a 3-goal lead. Maybe you get a little bit cocky there if your team Volted. That's exactly what we saw. We threw the 3-man commit on the kickoff for Team Volted. They want this goal back. Bejan knocked out of the way as a long lob on net, turned away by your boy Rich. Bumpin fighting through traffic, able to get that ball towards the Eclipse goal. 30 seconds left. They see that they need to get back, and they will.
Well, the power of the caster curse, too. Can't forget that one as well. As Sky is able to get that one out of danger initially, but it's not cleared out yet. Very brave challenge there. Manages to get that one away. Here goes Skies now off the center wall, looking for Bumpin in the middle. Not going to find it, but it's not cleared away just yet. Potentially an own goal on the cards, as instead it's cleared away for just a moment. Schmack has his shot saved, and with 1 second remaining, the ball kept alive. And I think they're going to try to turn this around. No, they're not. Volted will take game 1.
Where were they going? Shades of escape velocity there for a moment. Don't forget that this tournament powered by Geico Military. Geico Military partnered the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces. That was a very interesting game to me, Siphon, because there were stretches where it felt like Volted has hands down the best team we've seen. They look basically unstoppable offensively. And as you said before, the caster curse came through. Those rotations were phenomenal, but there were little pockets where I felt like Eclipse had opportunities. And I'm really curious if it felt like Volted almost couldn't keep up that perfect play for 5 minutes, and that's why they had those lapses, because there were stretches where it's just like, I don't know how you even beat this team.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely not wrong. I mean, the rotations, till I mentioned it, were picture perfect. I mean, they were consistently, it was deep shot, win the ball high up the field, get it on towards the goal, rotate 2 members forward, and as soon as you were out of the play, don't even think about anything other than getting back and playing at that center field line. They were playing it so well, and it was just shot after shot, win the ball back, shot, win the ball back.
Yeah.
It was just great coordination, and that's something we haven't seen out of a lot of those teams, although the ones that have been the most successful have been doing that. As we're going to hop straight into game number 2 here between these two teams, as your boy Rich going to get us started here over there before turning it over to Schmack, who's going to guide this one in himself, potentially denied at the near post, though.
Eclipse has stayed in this game thanks to Pandy. They have made a ton of credited and non-credited saves. We do look like
we just lost like 2 members.
Yeah, we lost, I think, we lost the entire team of Volted right before that goal went in. Very curious, because I know some tournaments, if a goal's been scored, you can't remake the game, but I think all of the players disconnected just in the nick of time. We even saw that replay. I think it was Bumpin' just disappear, almost basically get Thanos snapped right out of the game. So I'll be very curious what those rules state, because that was so close to, if the ball goes in, everything counts. I mean, mere seconds separating a goal and a no goal. So it looks like, I'm assuming we'll have to remake, but we'll wait for the official word.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see what ends up happening there. And that's my bad. I snapped accidentally. Shouldn't have done that. But, it was very, very interesting, because I was wondering, I was like, man, the defense in my head, I was thinking in my head, the defense definitely was being rotated out, as we're going to take a quick look at the rules here one more time.
Just a reminder, it is all best of threes. We're waiting on game 2 of Team Volted and Eclipse Esports 3-on-3. The Rocket League side of things, again, all very standard. 5-minute games, sudden death overtime. We actually have not seen an overtime today. We barely avoided one with some last-second goals. 6-week twist bracket. We are in week number 4. Both these teams sitting at 3-0. 1 official match per week. We have had some teams volunteer to do some show matches in case of, reschedules and just get some teams on stream. So that's been very big shout-out to teams like Michigan. Teams like Florida Tech Varsity participated in those. And again, the number we always talk about, top 8 qualify for that USO Invitational where there's $10,000 on the line. There's some teams, I think later tonight, we'll see Wyoming in our final game who sits at 1-2, who's one of those teams who can maybe make a run. Right now, though, we're on the other side of the standings where Team Volted and Eclipse sit at the top, both 3-0. Volted, pretty dominant game 1 win, though again there were some moments from Eclipse here waiting to go into game 2. We had a disconnect right as the game kicked off. Does sound like we haven't heard words. I assume we'll just go for a full remake there because no goals were scored before anyone disconnected.
Yeah, that has to be the assumption here, but I think it's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening in the rest of the series. I mean, is this going to give the time that they're going to need in order to talk things over and how to come back in this series here against Volted? Are Eclipse going to be able to find what they're looking for here? Maybe create some adjustments defensively. Maybe be more willing to go out, be adventurous here, because I think, as we've seen, I think we've touched on it, time and time again. The teams that are being more aggressive are being rewarded for it, and that's, I think, the mentality a lot of these teams need to start adopting is being aggressive, being more willing to leave your zone. I understand that you get more defensive solidity by not doing that, by playing deeper, but you've got to be able to get forward and being willing to attack the goal, create opportunities, and like Doc said in the keys to the game, you've got to create mistakes and be aggressive.
All right, perfect, as you said. Let's segue over to the rest of Doc Keys. It does sound like production did tell us that it is appearing to be a remake, and we will talk more on that after we get to Doc's keys, which are, as Siphon mentioned, create mistakes, punish the overcommit, don't overstay, which is something Team Voltage does a fantastic job of, and bump and demo to disrupt. And these are all brought to us by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a proud sponsor of the USO since 1997. Awaiting on a remake here of game number 2 between Team Voltage and Eclipse Esports. And the other thing that is interesting to note is, as we talked about, we thought we were ready to go, ended up having one of the players, I did not hear which team, ended up having some computer issues, and now you almost have to wonder, as we saw all of Team Voltage disconnect, I would assume maybe one player crashed and they immediately all quit to not allow a goal in. A very kind of smart tactic, if you will, saying if we all quit, we can, no goals was scored, we can force a remake. But now you start to wonder if that was the Team Voltage player who had computers issues before the match started. If that was a computer or internet issue in the middle of the game for one of the players, then that's on the back of your mind if you're Voltage saying, okay, we need to get this game done fast. We need to build ourselves a lead because we don't want to have a situation where we go to a game 3 against a team as talented as Eclipse because of hardware issues. You never want to have that happen. So that's something now in the back of my mind, at least, is Voltage's equipment all going to be good to go to last one more match?
Well, it's only 5 minutes. I think that they could probably buy 5 minutes if they're able to finish this one out in regulation. And I definitely think that that's definitely going to be something to think about in terms of the member who is most affecting. I think it might have just been a scenario where my computer's going down, yours is going down too. It's all for one and one for all, right? But that's, I definitely think, something that could be in the back of their mind. But they just got to, I think if they play loose, they play calm, they got to remember, they look to be probably the better team based on how game 1 went, if we're going to use that as the evidence here. So I think it's going to be something that they're going to have to just be comfortable, in playing this one out and be sure that way there's no issues here. If you're Eclipse, though, you got to take this time. You got to figure out what you want to do differently, how you want to attack this team, because this team only knows attack. How are you going to attack a team whose best defense is an offense?
And that was actually just what I was about to ask you, Siphon, is, we talked a lot about Team Voltage and how strong they look, but there were pockets where, we saw Eclipse get a couple of goals, have some opportunities. What, in your opinion, is the best way Eclipse can attack how the play style of Team Voltage and get back in this series and get us to a game 3 and maybe even pull off a victory? Because, again, I guess maybe not. We'll just hop right into the game. We'll have to hold on to that as we're ready to go.
Looks like a complete remake here. It's going to be 0-0 starting us off.
It doesn't look like any goal's going to be conceded, so we do get a fresh remake. Everyone on Team Volta disconnecting in perfect time. And we talked about the offense, a great start there for Bumpin'. Schmack coming in, looking for a pass down to Bumpin' off the wall. Your boy Rich dribbles it in a scary spot, but Bejan will save him there with a nice clear.
Yeah, here goes Bejan now, almost narrowly being able to connect there with his teammate, your boy Rich. And now here comes Schmack now trying to set up an opportunity as it's going to be taken away from him, sent across the goal. Here comes Skies now trying to win it. He holds on to the ball for a 50-50. Your boy Rich can't get this one cleared despite Bejan's help. Finally cleared away.
Ooh, Pandy just a few meters away from getting a great touch on it. Bejan looking for the center. Your boy Rich waiting. Finally has to retreat as Bumpin' gets a great clear. Schmack, huge launch down on the goal. Skies can't quite find it though. Almost the first goal.
Yeah, here comes Skies now. It's going to be playing it off that back wall. It's going to be held up by Eclipse, and they hold on to it way too long. Schmack nearly gets a goal here. Here comes Skies now off the back wall, looking for Bumpin' here, who plays it backwards for Schmack, who goes off the wall, dribbles it to himself off the wall, and Bumpin' gets us going.
Bolton had the ball for so long. Bumpin' starts this play with a great setup to Schmack. 1-2-3 off the wall, and Bumpin' in the perfect position. What a great start for Team Volta. You just see the difference there. 4 shots on goal for Team Volta in that first minute 15. None for Eclipse. We'll see if Eclipse can rally here and force us to a game 3, but a near defensive mistake until Bejan barrels them out. Sky's looking for the center, but the ball gets ricocheted back to the blue side.
Well, you know, this is what it's like when you can play with all 3 members, you know, not disconnecting from the game. I mean, it's crazy how that works. But, you know, it's going to be cleared away again here by Team Volta. As now here comes Bejan now trying to get this one turned around. And Eclipse, they've had some openings. Are they going to be able to manufacture enough opportunities to get this game tied? It's going to be a couple of demolitions coming out.
2-on-2 for a brief moment. Your boy Rich will respawn. Schmack centers it up perfectly. Ends up looking for a back pass. Bejan can't find the clear. Does find a demo onto Bumpin', and that's going to allow your boy Rich to just clear it down to the blue side. Stopped immediately, though, by Schmack. Then a pass over to Skies.
Oh, Skies with a perfect feed for Bumpin', and oh, what a save from your boy Rich as he keeps this game where it is. Bejan!
Oh!
Perfect style, and we are tied.
Ball went coast to coast in a hurry. Bejan just corrals it. Schmack can't get in position in one of the few times Volta has had a defensive really breakdown there as there was nobody on net. 1-1 here. Who can get the go-ahead goal, and can it come in regulation? Skies, huge demolition onto Pandy, who's been the best defensive member for Eclipse. Ball right in front of the net. Another huge demo right off the respawn, but Volta cannot capitalize.
Yeah, and there's another opportunity here. Here comes Skies as he wins the ball back. He has Bumpin' in support. He'll take it wide of the goal here. Let Bumpin' get a good square on the ball here, trying to cross this one in, looking for Schmack. It's going to be taken away instead. But Schmack holds it up at the center field line. Played past Skies, though. Here comes Bejan looking to get on the end of it. He's not able to take the lead for Eclipse. So close. And now Skies gets it going the other way. Bumpin' loses possession, and it's going to be cleared away.
Reset here, your boy Rich gonna challenge Schmack, can't quite get to it. Bejan in front of the net, wants to redirect it off the wall. But it takes an awkward hop, ends up rolling to the ceiling. Now Bumpin's turn, huge pass over to Schmack, but it's saved by your boy Rich. Skies looking for an opportunity, can't find it either. And Eclipse will clear it back with an opportunity to take the lead, but it's turned away by Bumpin.
Here comes Pandy now. It's going to go back here to Skies. Can Skies find an opportunity? Oh, that's an unfortunate bounce off your boy Rich.
Just a solo play here by Skies. He wants to carry it. Your boy Rich, as you said, stopped it in front of the net. That ball might have gone wide, too. You never know. Your boy Rich now going to have to redeem himself in the final 90 seconds to keep Eclipse in this series. Ball popped up in the air. Bejan way too short. There's your boy Rich with a long shot, but it's cleared.
It's going to come back here to Skies. Great touch on the end of it. And actually, I was wrong. He didn't get any of it. And Bumpin' with a nice goal.
I think he fakes out the defender here. I thought Skies got to it as well. As we see, yeah, he faked out Bejan. Bejan tried to adjust to what a tap would do. Bumpin' gets the cross-map goal, and we go from 1-1 to 3-1 in a matter of moments. Off the kickoff, the full commit by Volta puts him in a really bad spot. Bejan racing in, but Skies gets to it first.
Yeah, and now Sky's able to get this one out of danger for just a moment here. Schmack, though, is gone. There's no one watching the goal, and it's a great work there from Eclipse as they get this one back.
One demo there from Bejan. He's going to find another one onto Skies. I don't even know if Skies would have got there in time. Seen a lot of demos today. So far, Eclipse has used them. You can see all the bombs on the screen. An explosive match here of undefeated teams. Right off the kickoff, Schmack, though, has an opportunity. Pandy with a great denial.
Yeah, now here comes your boy Rich, who turns it over. It's going to come back out here again to Pandy, who will knock this one forward. And now will Eclipse come forward? They lose the ball, so Schmack now takes it into the corner, looking for a cross, trying to pick out a teammate. Great undercut there by your boy Rich. He gets it around Bumpin'. He gets demolished by Bumpin'. I didn't think he was going fast enough for that. And now Skies coming back to Schmack. Off that corner wall, towards the goal. Skies not able to get on the end of it. Schmack, one more time, towards the goal, cleared away.
Team Volted wants this go-ahead goal. Huge clear by Bejan, but it's turned away by Skies. 30 seconds left here. Team Volted just has to hold on. Great steal by your boy Rich. Schmack forced to make a huge save. Pandy didn't deny that clear. The ball will float towards the center field stripe. Bejan takes a shot. Bumpin' will turn it away. And Eclipse gets one more chance. Skies turns it away with 10 seconds left.
Hey, here comes here comes Skies now. Off that back wall, one more chance for Volted. Not gonna happen. Another shot, big save from your boy Rich. And now Eclipse cannot let it hit the ground. Skies trying to guide it that direction, taking all the momentum off of it. Creative play. Volted finish 2-0.
Volted comes away on top. Game 2, though, looking very close. Eclipse did a great job of figuring out what Volted wanted to do, but it turns it also felt like Siphon Voltage, just those perfect rotations. They're so hard to maintain. Somebody's going to make a mistake. Somebody's going to run out of boost. And we can see what happens when they have bad rotations. They let Eclipse almost come back in that game and get us to overtime.
Yeah, they definitely did. And, you would ask me, tried to ask me before the game has started, what would I do what would I tell my players to do if I was coaching, Eclipse? I would say do what we saw as a counter to, what we saw to the high tempo aggression in week 2, which was play it deep, force these teams to go backwards and have to get turned around and set back up. That way you're able to get forward, and you have to establish yourself at that center field line. You cannot let them get the ball behind you, because if you do, you're going to be pinned in, because they're going to be constantly pushing you with numbers on the ball, keeping one player back to prevent those long goals and allowing themselves to buy themselves enough time to rotate back if they need to. But that's how you counter this. You've got to get those long balls deep. You've got to get after the ball and get yourself set up at that center field line. You cannot let them establish their press, because if they do, it's so hard to break it effectively and get yourself in a position where you are not down 2, 3, or 4 goals.
I think the other thing that I really like for Eclipse that didn't quite work was going with the demos. Demoing offensively to reduce the numbers pressure, defensively to reduce the numbers pressure, and demoing offensively to create wide open nets. And that's how they almost got that series back. But in the end, Volted will be our first 4-0 team. They feel, again, not locked in, but almost mathematically guaranteed. Eclipse falls to 3-1. If they get a team like Michigan, they could be going down to 3-2 just like that. So they're in a scary spot to be. We will take one more break here. We have maybe 1, maybe 2 more games left here in week 4 of the USO Invitational, waiting to see who it is going to be. We'll take a quick break and be back with more Rocket League.
I wanted to go on the USO tour here in Alaska because I've actually never been to Alaska, but more importantly, I've never done a USO tour before, and this was an opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. I told everybody on my team I really want to dedicate some time, visit some people and thank them in person, and we just, threw this together, and everybody was very accommodating and made it happen. Here at Allison, it's just been a very warm welcome. I mean, not weather-wise, but people-wise, it's been incredible. Just getting to explore the grounds. I got to see some jets, which were absolutely breathtaking. Just being able to say thank you to the men and women who serve our country in person has just been so incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear y'all fired up and shouting for Miss Cassidy Grove.
So I want to thank you guys for having me. This has been incredible. I want to come back. I definitely want to see more of it. I feel like I got to see as much as possible in one day, but this place is massive. So I would love to come back and see more.
into the Boise State Esports Arena USO Invitational Qualifier week number 4 going on right now. Fish and Siphon calling all of the action, and we are ready to hop into another game, another pair of 2-1 teams looking to separate themselves from the pack, get closer and closer to that top 8. And we get a team, personally one of my favorites, just because I think their logo is fantastic. The Chads taking on Florida Tech JV. Again, we have seen these teams, actually I think all the way back in week 1, Siphon, before you joined us, we actually saw this in a show match. Florida Tech actually got the 3-0 sweep on the Chads. The JV team did. So, again, that didn't count for the official record. That's how they find each other, both at 2-1, playing each other for the second time, first time officially. But early on, I didn't think the Chads would be in this position. It was even kind of interesting. We were talking before the match, kind of going over our games. Like, yeah, Chads is 2-1. And you were like, what? They're 2-1. Like, it's this team that kind of sneaks up on you. They're way better than I think really anyone has expected. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I think it's just the name and the logo is really deceiving. You wouldn't think that they're not going to be among these top teams, and they definitely have been. So I'll be curious to see how they're going to be this week. This is a tough test for them. This is going to be a big game because if they're able to move to 3-1, that's looking really good for their prospects of moving on in this tournament, because then they'll be sitting, at that 3 wins mark, which is what we think is around the minimum, maybe 4 for sure, 3 maybe.
Well, here we go. It is Chads and Florida Tech, and anytime Florida Tech JV is on the field, you have to watch out for Beasted and Feast, but we'll get to that later. Infinite scores first here.
Well, it's just a kickoff play. It's a nice job winning that one from Thermal. Infinite steps in front of the defense there, puts a nice shot away. It's an early 1-0 lead here for the Chads, just 4 seconds into the game, very early. So we're underway here on the kickoff. Infinite wins another kickoff here for the Chads. It's going to be taken now by Thermal again. It's going to be kept alive, though, by Florida Tech JV. Guiding it in there was Retrospector. He's Beastin' and Feastin', though, keeps it alive. Dangerous ball falls to Thermal as he clears it away.
Tuna now going to carry it up the field. Retrospector is there for a nice touch on it, looking for one more. He's come alive in recent weeks for Florida Tech JV. There's Beastin' and Feastin' with a great attempt, but Tuna going to deny that one, try and sneak it around Dimes, but Infinite is there. Ton of pressure for Florida Tech JV. They deny another great clear in front of the net, and Beastin' and Feastin' puts it home.
Great response here from Florida Tech. They don't allow themselves to get pushed in further. They start clearing these balls deep. They establish their press and keep winning the ball back, generating chance after chance after chance, eventually able to find the equalizer. 4:20 to go here now. It's still a 1-1 game here between the Chads and Florida Tech JV. Thermal now takes the kickoff, goes forward here, trying to set up an opportunity. He gets the demo down onto Beastin' and Feastin'. Here goes Tuna on the 3-on-2. Big save there from Florida Tech JV on the goal line.
Thermal trying to keep it alive, denies it clear from Beastin' and Feastin'. Retrospector going to try the same thing and finds the same result. Tuna racing in, but the ball is played away from him by Thermal. Miscommunication there as Infinite keeps it alive, but gets demoed, and that should be a reset.
Here comes Beastin' and Feastin'. He loses out as he holds onto the ball too long. And now here comes Thermal here trying to win that ball back. Cleared away by Beastin' and Feastin'. Thermal wins it back one more time. Dimes now going to try to get this one out of danger. Still not out of danger as the Chads really starting to hold on to the ball here a lot more and win it back. Here goes Thermal now. Not a great hit on that ball, and it's going to fall here to Retrospector, who gets a shot away. It's going to be falling short here. It's not cleared out of danger. Popped high off the danger. Can Beastin' and Feastin' pop it in? No, he can't. Demolitions galore here in front of the goal of the Chads, and nearly a dangerous chase the other way into win action here between these two teams.
Well, we had a 4-on-2 there. Dimes just dribbled it towards his own net. I was so confused. This allows the Chads to create a ton of pressure. Beastin' and Feastin' can't find a clear. Tuna off the side wall. Sets it up perfectly. Infinite shot. Top crossbar, and he gets it in.
Too many mistakes there from Florida Tech. Beastin' and Feastin's out of the play. If he fails to clear it away, then Tuna not able to clear that one away either, and Dimes just missed on that final opportunity there to try to get it out, and instead the Chads' open goal is going to be 2-1 now for them as they retake their lead. Here comes Beastin' and Feastin'. He's got to get turned around here. He's got to help lead the charge here to get Florida Tech back in the lead. This is going to be a big save for Dimes early on.
Tuna gonna pop this one up in the air, trying to set up a teammate. Beastin' and Feastin', smart denial there. Over to Dimes, but it's stolen away. Great speed by the Chads, but Thermal can't elevate in time. Beastin and Feastin racing down. Tuna, though, with a great touch.
Antony, an awkward bounce there off the ceiling. Can Thermal get to this one? He does. He guides it towards the goal. It's going to be wide. Opportunity here for Tuna to maybe find a chance here. Instead, it's going to be cleared away here, as it's going to be a demolition down onto Retrospector from Infinite. An opportunity from Thermal, but it's cleared away.
Infinite now off the side wall. Cleared away by Dimes, who's got Retrospector near midfield. He needs to find a pass to him. Ends up letting the ball just kind of fall into his lap, and the chance deny that play. Infinite now with a great chance here. Can't quite sneak it around Beasted and Feasted. Tuna in a spot, though, but he can't quite get a great shot, but Thermal can.
Big save from Retrospector, as that could have definitely been the final nail in the coffin. Instead, Retrospector now going to try to have an opportunity at the goal. It's going to be good pressure here from Florida Tech JV, but no one's forward enough to answer the call. Can they get the goal in? Retrospector's coming forward, but Thermal will clear it to safety. Kept alive by Retrospector, and it's going to be won back again by Beasted. And Feasted, there's an open goal. No one there to put it in, though. Pop forward by Dimes. Turned around by Retrospector to Beasted.
Oh!
Beasted, huge save from Thermal, and this game is still just 1 goal deficit here for Florida Tech JV.
I thought we for sure had a tie game. A great save by Thermal. Tuna now trying to build the lead over to Thermal, but Beasted and Feasted makes a great save. Dimes now looking to get it clear. Can't quite find it. Now has Retrospector right in front of him. 60 seconds left, but a huge demo resets momentum, and Tuna can clear it the length of the field.
He's going to fall back here towards Infinite, but he loses the ball. Going to be played high in the corner here. Thermal gets to it first. Not a lot of pace on the shot, but he wins the ball back again. Florida Tech JV not able to clear this one away. Can Beasted and Feasted finally do so? Yes, he can. He gets it across to Retrospector, who gets it forward to Dimes, but he's not able to complete the pass. Retrospector now going to look to pull back. Here goes Beasted and Feasted. 30 seconds remain. That's a nice ball over the goal line. It's cleared, and Dimes not able to play that one on the shot immediately, but Retrospector going to try one more time off that back wall. He's looking for Dimes. Broken up on the play. Great defense from Thermal, and Tuna will try to clear.
Thermal just needs to kill time. Clears it across map. Infinite is there. 10 seconds left. What can Florida Tech JV do? They get a huge demo to start things out, but the ball's just stuck in the corner. Finally, Retrospector, huge clear. Thermal blasts it back, pays for it with his life, and they just miss on it. And the Chads come out on top in a very close game number 1. Don't forget that this tournament is powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces. Now, there's a very interesting note that I did was confirm mid-game. An astute watcher might have noticed. Wasn't Tuna on Florida Tech varsity show match team?
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Tuna is the student coach for the Florida Tech varsity team, but he plays on the Chads in this tournament.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
So the coach, you know, any esports program, I have a student coach helping out. That is Tuna. Works for Florida Tech varsity. Decided heard about this tournament, probably because Florida Tech has 2 teams in it, put together his own Rocket League squad. So he might have, he's the student coach for the varsity team. I don't know how much he works with the JV team. He might have some inside information for the Chads for this game in particular.
Ooh, boy, that's a spicy addition here to the storyline here. Obviously the great storyline of Florida Tech JV being higher than their varsity team right now is a good one, but I think having their student coach be who they're playing against right now is definitely very interesting. We'll see how Florida Tech JV is going to respond here. I think the Chads definitely had a good amount of pressure in that first game. They created a lot of opportunities off of Florida Tech's mistakes. How are this JV squad going to respond here, as it's going to be Beasted and Feasted trying to go immediately and right the wrongs of game 1, but he's not able to find anybody.
Thermal played so well in game number 1, especially defensively. Gets a great clear over to Infinite off the side wall. Retrospector, huge miss. It's a 2-on-1, and the ball just rolls in. The student coach scores against his normal team.
And the coach making an impact on the field here. And it's a nice setup there, just not able to get it cleared away. If you're Florida Tech JV, that's got to be something that's got to get cleaned up. The Chads with an early lead here, 1-0. Off the kickoff now is Retrospector. Going to play this one back off his own corner wall. He's got to move much faster, create some opportunities for his team this game. And now it's going to be Feastin taking this one off the corner wall, but they're still struggling to get this one away. Finally, Dimes able to get the break started, and that's a poor touch there from Thermal, but it's going to be popped in the air. Feastin not able to win it.
Tuna, nice touch, gets demoed though. All three members of Florida Tech JV right next to each other. Kind of just playing, you know, keep away with the ball. Thermal just takes huge advantage, gets a great clear down. Feastin with a nice touch. Ball skips past a couple of members. Infinite's turn now off the wall. Centers it up. Is Thermal there? No. Thermal just smartly playing back defensively.
It's going to come back off that corner wall now. Back to Feastin here one more time. Off that back wall. Can he find an opportunity to finish? No, he cannot. The angle is just too sharp for him to find something here, but can Dimes maybe? You know, he's not able to get on the end of that one as Thermal now clears it away. Open goal for Infinite, just too high. Thermal taps it in. 2-0 for the Chads.
Chads have just created so much pressure. Just a missed touch by Retrospector. Infinite and Thermal playing fantastic on that nice little setup. Chads with a 2-0 lead, holding Florida Tech JV basically toothless, especially Feastin. He's a name to watch out for. He was our Geico Military Player of the Week all the way back in week number 1, and he has really done nothing so far for Florida Tech JV. He needs to get it going. As Thermal and company looking to dribble it up the field. Infinite with a great dunk over Feastin, knocks him out of the way as well, but Dime should be able to carry this one up.
Thermal wins the ball back again. Going into that corner wall, crossing it into the box. It's cleared away as it's going to be kept alive here by Infinite now after winning the ball back high up the field. Looking for another teammate potentially. Instead, though, it's going to be knocked high around. Tuna not able to get to that one. Neither is Retrospector, but Dimes crossing it in towards the corner. Knocked down. Thermal intercepts. He's going to go looking for Infinite on the finish, baby. Too far to the side.
There's a great pinch there by Feastin as well to get that ball all the way back. Dimes now looking for an opportunity, but Thermal and Tuna will just clear it to midfield. Feastin with the reset. What can he do with it? The answer is nothing. Thermal gets a great touch. They bump him out of the way as well. Dimes needs to make a play to help out his teammates, but he gets bumped out of the way and docks keys in full display.
Here comes Tuna now, looking for an opportunity, trying to add on here to this lead that the Chads have built. They're looking for one more. Big save from Dimes, but it is not out of danger, but the Chads will pull back for now. Thermal splits both defenders. Another opportunity for Tuna. He's denied. Infinite will add it on.
Just Thermal and Infinite have been so great together offensively. Tuna with a nice touch as well. And again, we see these great rotations. You can see in that replay, Thermal already retreating. The Chads have played so perfectly as a team that kind of caught everyone off guard. Is now just 2 minutes away from a 3-1 record. Can they add to their lead? It looks like off the kickoff, they have a great opportunity, but Dimes with a nice stop in midair.
Yeah, it's going to come back here to Feastin. Can he find a way to get some goals on the board here for Florida Tech JV? That is certainly going to be the question. Here comes Tuna now, waiting for his teammates to come support. Infinite with a great touch on the ball, just a little bit too wide on the shot. And now here comes Feastin. He flicks it over one defender, trying to cross it in over another. It's taken out of the play now, and here goes Infinite on the breakaway.
Feastin will get a demolition there. Under 90 seconds left. Thermal, nearly plays it off the hood. A Retrospector into the back of the net. Feastin denied by Tuna. And Thermal's going to end up with this ball. Takes a great shot. Dimes makes this fantastic save. But again, Infinite with already having back possession. Tuna looks for the spike, but it's turned away.
Great defense there from Florida Tech JV, but can they turn that defense into offense as they still need so many goals here? Only a minute remaining here. Tuna might be able to add one more on to his team that he coaches for. As now Infinite intercepts, gets that towards the goal. Tuna looking to add another. Not going to happen on that occasion. Denied by Dimes. Infinite keeps it alive. And now the shot, they played high in the air over the corner. Tuna guides it towards the goal, and it's cleared.
Infinite waiting for the ball, gets a great touch on it, clears it around. Dimes clears it around. Feastin. Can he clear it past the whole team? He can, coast to coast for the 4-0 lead.
Infinite with a nice job there. Takes the ball from his own end, guides it past the entire team. Still think he got credit for that, even though Thermal tried to take it.
I did not see Thermal get a touch on it either. That was a great touch by Thermal.
Wow. It's really all you can say to that one. Is 30 seconds left here in regulation. The Chads cruising here to victory against Florida Tech. With under 20 seconds remaining here is Thermal now. Going to try to play this one at center. Going off the corner wall, back towards Dimes as he clears this one away. Intercepted by Thermal, or by Tuna, excuse me. Leaving it for Infinite, who flicks it past the defender. Big save from Retrospector in goal, remaining calm. But that is going to do it here with 2 seconds remaining as the Chads will take a comfortable 2-0 series lead.
It's a huge statement win for the Chads whenever this ball does touch the ground. Oh, come on, Thermal. Okay, woo.
Escape velocity.
This guy, I did not want to see any more escape velocity moments. The Chads with a statement, a dominating win over Florida Tech JV. They moved to 3-1. And now all of a sudden, their major players up there with the likes of Michigan, up there with the likes of Eclipse Esports. Very, very crazy. Meanwhile, Florida Tech JV falls to 2-2. Depending on if the varsity teams wins, we could have a battle of the Florida Tech teams next week in a game that actually matters. We've seen them in a show match. But I think the one thing that really stood out to me for the Chads, and I don't know if it was just intentional, how the ball bounced, maybe he's not having a great day. We know a lot about Beastin and Feastin, but when Florida Tech JV was winning, it was Retrospector who was making plays. 1 medal in game 2, and it took him until the final moments to make a save. He was absolutely just denied any opportunity.
Yeah, he definitely was. And, you know, Retrospector's so good at both ends of the field, and that was where he made his impact felt. And you've just kind of seen the bluntness, you know, kind of be taken out. The attack has just become blunt.
Yeah.
It's not doing much of anything of note over the last few games. And, you know, that in this series in particular as well is now this is going to be a tough loss for Florida Tech JV, I think, to swallow here, as this was just, they didn't show much of anything in this series for the most part, and I think they've got to start working on some solutions here. I think defensively they've become a little bit too leaky, at the back, and I think offensively they're not scoring enough goals. They need to find that happy middle ground, and they need to do it soon because they're not quite into that comfortable zone of you've got a couple of enough wins on the board that you might be able to squeak in.
Yeah, they sit at 2-2. Now we have one more game I think left on the calendar for tonight, and we've seen a lot of 2-1 games where we say, okay, even if you lose, you're not in a bad spot. Our final match of the night is going to be Wyoming versus Barbershop. Both of these teams are 1-2. A loss again doesn't eliminate you, but it caps you at 3-3. Where as we've talked about, myself and I have talked about, you might need some tiebreakers. You might need a coin flip. You might need a play-in game. 3 losses is really the last loss you could take. So these teams are up against it. The teams we've seen so far, 2-1, 3-0, they have a game to give. We will take a quick break. Should be back with one more. It's Wyoming and Barbershop. Both teams need a win. Who's going to get it? Find out after this.
They are the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. What does it take to strengthen our service members? What does it take to let them know that we stand behind them, wherever they are? What does it take to bridge the distance and keep them connected to family, home, and country? And what does it take to prepare them for their future when their service to the nation is complete? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Give today at force.uso.org.
It's nice to be able to come to the USO and have all this lounge kind of atmosphere provided for you. We were playing Call of Duty on the zombie mode, basically getting to run our own little zombie apocalypse teams.
Good place to kind of blow off some steam, a way to kind of feel like you're back at home while you're away. We enjoy all different sorts of types of games, first-person shooters especially, because it kind of relates to what we do.
You get to the video games, dudes are still communicating, trying to make sure somebody's covering every avenue, and it ends up being probably a little bit more technical than your average gamer.
USOs over here are great because they're a great opportunity to get Wi-Fi, get some connection back home.
Everything is really great about the USO. I like movies a lot, and they always have movies. They have like pool and darts. I love coming out here when I get the chance, and thanks for bringing everything to us.
into the Boise State Esports Arena here today for the USO Invitational Qualifier, week number 4, powered by Geico Military. Since 1941, the USO has been the nation's leading organization to serve the men and women in the U.S. military and their families throughout their time in uniform. From the moment they join through their assignments to deployments and as they transition back to their communities, the USO is always by their side. Fish and Siphon here, about ready to hop into our last match of the night. The team we've seen a ton of, the University of Wyoming, fellow Mountain West opponent, a team that I'm personally rooting for, sitting at 1-2, taking on Barbershop. And these are two of the teams that I think feel the most pressure, Siphon, as we take a look at our rules. As we said, best of 3, 3-on-3, Rocket League all pretty standard. This is week number 4, the final game of week number 4 of our 6-week Swiss bracket. 1 match per team, and again, that top 8, that number we're always going to be talking about every single week. Top 8 qualify for the USO Invitational, Siphon. And these teams are at 1-2. These teams have more pressure than anybody else we've seen tonight.
Yeah, they definitely do, because one loss basically puts them in. You're hoping for a miracle, and speaking of miracles, a magic trick, there's a goal.
We join, and Miss Magician has put them on the board. It all starts, of course, with Colorado up front. This Wyoming team loves to play together, and I'm not just saying in terms of off the field. Every goal we see from them has some sort of team element. If it's a bump, it's a demo, it's a pass. They all do it together as Timber looks for a solo goal, but it hits off the post, denied because he didn't have a teammate involved.
Yeah, that's why. You're not allowed to score unless your teammate has at least touched the ball once. As now it's going to be turned over multiple times by multiple different players there. Not sure what in the world just happened there. As it's cleared away now deep into the Wyoming zone. As now Colorado is going to pull a fancy maneuver, flip backwards off the wall, look to play this one forward here. He's got Miss Magician and Timber in support. And Master Uguay not able to clear this one away. Now it is successfully by Emo Bat, and it's cleared just barely by Colorado.
Great demo off screen, giving Wyoming the numbers advantage. Timber pops the ball up in the air. Colorado will get a great clear. Master Uguay just puts it right back down on the blue side. Gets a great follow-up touch. Goals wide open, and Emo Bat ties us at 1.
It's a big goal there for the Barbershop as they are able to level this one out pretty quickly here, and they survived again. A lot of pressure early on here after that Wyoming goal. They nearly conceded a second, but they're able to remain strong, clear it away, and eventually find their equalizer. 3:51 left in regulation of game number 1. Master Uguay nearly got a dangerous opportunity off that kickoff now as it's going to be cleared away as Chris Weezy tried putting one to the goal.
Miss Magician looking for a pass to Colorado, stolen away by Chris Weezy. It was a wide open opportunity, but Miss Magician will readjust that ball. Timber now looking for a clear. At least gets a pass over to his teammate and Miss Magician, who pops it up in the air. Now Wyoming has something going here, at least for a little bit.
It's going to be turned over here as Chris Weezy now going to send it forward. Going to look for an opportunity. He's not able to connect with the ball, though. Kept alive by Emo Bat, and it's going to be trying to be cleared by Timber. Chris Weezy holds on to it now, looking to spike it into the ground. Colorado dispossesses him as Emo Bat now driving it back into the corner after intercepting it there. Pulls it back, looking for the shot, cleared away by Colorado.
Wyoming also has a tendency to play in very close games. Defensively, they have struggled as Timber looks for a huge clear down. Can he get a teammate involved? Chris Weezy off the side. There's the demo, but nobody's in rotation. Miss Magician just a hair too late.
Colorado, though, looking for Miss Magician. He's there and not able to connect on that occasion. And now Timber wins the ball back one more time. That's a great ball. Someone's got to get on the end of this. Colorado tries to stop it there. Miss Magician coming again in support for Colorado. It's sitting on the goal line. Get in there, man.
Thank you, Miss Magician. I thought this was going to be the best goal line stand we've seen in a while. Colorado gets 3 players to commit on the ball, and Miss Magician finally hits it in the open net. Wyoming with a 2-1 lead, but as we said, defensively they have let teams in quite often. As Emo Bat with a nice win. Miss Magician is there off the kickoff, racing down in a one-on-one versus Chris Weezy. Tries to brute force it in. Now once again, Wyoming leaves a ball in front of the net.
Oh, but here's another opportunity as I believe that is a Rule 5, right?
I've always heard Rule 1.
Is it Rule 1? Okay.
Yeah, Rule 1 in the back of the net. We get a great view of this. Both players honoring it. I think early in the tournament in week 1, we allegedly had a player break a Rule 1. Allegedly, we didn't quite see it. We just saw a Rule 1, and then it was broken up pretty quickly. So, like to see the players hold it. Colorado right off the kickoff.
Oh my!
Last week, nobody can find the goal. This week, it's just Wyoming that can't buy a goal.
Well, it's more just because they can't seem to get enough people forward. I mean, that time they brought the whole team and it couldn't get in there, but we'll see if the Timbers chance here will be able to get in the back of the net. Colorado has it deflected high and wide as it's going to be taken out by Emobat, and he turns it over as Miss Magician now controlling it, trying to play it forward here off that center wall. Colorado going to get to it first. Going to get it towards that corner wall. It's open there. Can Timber get there? It's going to just walk in. Colorado.
I was like, okay, this is an easy save. Colorado gets credited for a goal. Unfortunately, Master Uguay, I think, realized he would have scored himself and just kind of hoped someone else was there. I do not know what happened. We have gone from 1-1 to 4-1 just like that. I don't know how Wyoming's scoring. Everything has been just absolutely insane in our final game of the night. Once again, early pressure for Wyoming, and Miss Magician's shot goes wide.
Now it's high over the goal line there. Miss Magician not able to come out with some magic on that shot, and instead it's going to go back towards that center field line. Here we go now. Is Grisweezy going to create an opportunity here? Cleared away. Colorado now on the fast break, as it's going to be 2-on-1 here if he can get it in fast enough. He's just clearing out the defenders. Miss Magician too high initially, and Master Uguay able to get that one away, and no one's there to finish the opportunity once it was recrossed into the box by Wyoming, and now it's cleared away.
1 minute left. Wyoming with a comfortable lead, looking to add a couple more as Colorado comes falling down, missing on the ball. Ton of pressure here for Wyoming. You wouldn't think they have the 3-goal lead as Colorado with a great steal at midfield. Miss Magician has to recenter it, but the ball just gets past him, and he can't get there in time, but he'll get a demo on the way out.
Here comes Emobat now as he's going to lose it out there to Timber. Tries to go for a demolition himself on Miss Magician, but he doesn't able to get it to stick. 30 seconds left here on the clock here. Can Wyoming see this one out as it's going to be a shot? Big save there from Timber, not out of danger yet, as it's going to be cleared into the corner.
Master Uguay gets that ball stolen away, and that should seal things here for the Barbers Shop. Wyoming going to put themselves on match point, a game they both teams desperately need in the final 5 seconds. The Barbers Shop looking for any sort of positive note heading into game 2. They're just simply not going to find it. That ball will get grounded. Wyoming wins game 1. Remember, both these teams are 1-2. A loss at 1-3 is a dangerous spot to be. This tournament powered by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the force. I just want to say, Wyoming's games always just seem like all, heck has broken loose everywhere. Goals should go in, balls are bouncing in front of the net forever. I don't know what kind of voodoo magic Wyoming's put on Rocket League, but I just swear weird things happen whenever the Cowboys are playing, at least in this USO qualifier.
Well, I think I could definitely see the influence from a very very popular streamer that I watch sometimes. His name is I'm a Cutie Pie, and his great strategy is if you don't know what you're doing, how is the enemy team going to know what you're doing?
Fair. Yeah,
I mean, it's a great strategy.
Yeah, I feel like literally Colorado seems like he knows what he's doing, and Miss Magician and Timber are just like, we're going for it. I don't care. We're going to fly down. Hopefully somebody gets there in time. Which is why they have so many team plays, because as you said, they just, at one point jammed 3 people on net, and they're like, we didn't score.
Yep.
On to the next one.
Hope somebody rotates.
Yeah. And that's why they usually allow so many goals. They did a great job this time and we've seen a lot of teams, and this feels like the teams that have won tonight, in particular, Syph, as we get into game 2, have applied pressure and just let the pressure be what breaks down the other team. If Barbershop can find these big clears you and I have been talking about, they can easily just get long map goals as game 2 starts off, much like game 1. Wyoming with a ton of pressure, just not finding the back of the net.
A pretty soft clearance out, but it'll get the job done there for the Barbershop, and then it will be cleared across the other side of the map, but it's kept alive here by Master Uguay, looking for a shot.
Oh, no.
An awkward bounce, and the Barbershop strike first.
Timber will officially put this one on net. Master Uguay will get credit. Just a little too far forward, an awkward bounce, as you said. And Barbershop has a 1-0 lead early on, but Wyoming should have lots of chances right off the kickoff. Miss Magician going to force it to the orange side. A miss by Chris Weezy. Puts his team in an awkward spot. Another miss. Colorado all alone off the crossbar. Recenters it for a teammate. There is Timber. Where is Miss Magician? There he is.
Team goal for Wyoming. How surprising. But Great work here from Wyoming there. They take advantage of the mistakes from the barbershop on several different clearance attempts, able to apply the pressure, get the ball towards the goal, and eventually able to work it for a goal. Tie game here with 4:25 left in regulation as Colorado will win the kickoff now. And here goes Timber. Good patience, but it has it taken away from him here. Miss Magician not able to win the 50-50. Colorado's got to come back here as Master Uguay was lurking. There's the shot. It's just wide from Evo Bat. And that could have been decisive there from Barbershop. Instead, it's going to go the other direction here. Colorado nearly puts it in, and so does Miss Magician.
Miss Magician gets the reset, but blasted out of the way by Master Uguay. Chris Wheezy with a nice touch, though Timber will get a nose on it, allowing Colorado to play it all the way down. Master Uguay is there, but so is Evo Bat, and now Miss Magician's turn. Off the back wall, right in front of the net, and Timber will force it in, and guess what? It's another team goal.
Beautiful pass there from Miss Magician. He's got Uguay, who chooses to be very patient in that setup, then gets caught in no man's land. And a great pass, great finish there from Timber on the goal line. Wyoming take the lead. 3:48 left here in regulation. This kickoff's going to go underway. Timber will win it, but it's immediately taken by Evo Bat as Miss Magician now will try to clear it away, but it's not a good clearance. It goes right into the hands of the Barbershop, but it's eventually cleared away. And as I say that, immediately put back in.
Chris Wheezy with a nice steal. Master Uguay in front of the net. Wyoming's defense breaks down.
And it's a tie game again. Chris Wheezy wins the ball back. Immediate first time setup back to Master Uguay. Good shot into the top left. And it's going to be a tie game here. 3:31 left in regulation. So now on to the kickoff here one more time. Miss Magician will take this time. He leaves it for Timber off that wall. And it's going to come back here to Chris Wheezy, who pops it high into the air. Colorado's there. He's staring at an open goal, but a great recovery by Master Uguay. Great setup from Colorado. Great setup for Miss Magician, but you can only set it up so many times without scoring.
Colorado gets demoed on the retreat by Evo Bat. Ball ends up right in front of Master Uguay, but Miss Magician gets a nice clear over to Timber. They center it down for Colorado off the respawn. He's going to blast it down to Miss Magician, but the ball's off center. That allows Chris Wheezy and company to start the attack before Colorado will kill it over in the corner.
And it's going to be cleared away there and towards the goal, but now intercepted again. Here comes Miss Magician. Nice move inside. Going to have it dispossessed, but he takes it back as Colorado gets a goal, or shot towards the goal rather. And he sets up Timber, but he's just a fraction late to the ball. But he takes it away from Evo Bat, takes it away from Master Uguay, sets up Miss Magician, who ricochets off the back wall for Colorado, who ricochets it back to himself into the corner, sending it back out to the slot. Can Timber get in there? Timber sends it off the corner wall. Can he set up an opportunity? Nearly goes in off the top of the crossbar into the corner as Miss Magician tries an opportunity. It's cleared away, and it's still only 2 goals for Wyoming.
Wyoming just setting up chance after chance. Another opportunity for Colorado goes wide. Can Wyoming finally find the back of the net? Chris Wheezy going to have that ball pop up in the air, but here's Colorado looking for a rebound attempt to themselves. Master Uguay can't corral it. Timber right up in the air. Here comes Miss Magician, gets demo but not ball, but a second demo will calm things down.
This game is still tied with 1:45 left. I don't really know how, as now it's going to be Miss Magician going to play this one in his own end. He's got to get past 3 members. He does not, as Colorado has to try to clear this one away. It's a high flyer. He's able to get it past 1, but not the second. It's going to go over the head of Timber, but Miss Magician with a long shot. Evo Bat able to clear that one away. Now Colorado squares up. He pops it in the air. He keeps it going, trying to drive it towards the goal. Nearly brute forced it over the line. Miss Magician keeps it alive. Timber comes across. He can't finish it either. And with 1:10 remaining, we are still tied.
Huge clear by Evo Bat. Can this be the opportunity the Barbershop's been looking for? The answer appears to be no. Great opportunity for Miss Magician off the side wall. 60 seconds left. Centers it in front of an open net, but Master Uguay gets there just in time. Timber has to look for a reset, but Wyoming has another golden opportunity.
Here comes Miss Magician now, clearing it away. Timber gets the demo off screen on Master Uguay. Chris Wheezy tried to set up an opportunity, but Colorado takes it away. Back again to Chris Weezy. What a redirection. And now it's going to go back into the corner one more time. Chris Weezy tried to set something up. Miss Magician with the clearance. Here goes Timber down the side. Chris Weezy overshoots it. Timber sends it back to Colorado, but he sent it back too sharply, and it will not be going towards the goal on that occasion. Chris Weezy trying to clear it away now, and it's sent away.
Last chance here for maybe both teams in regulation. Master Uguay gets it right in front of the net. Colorado with a great stop. Scary spot to be! But Chris Weezy's just behind the ball. 6 seconds left. Wyoming's looking to go coast to coast and avoid overtime. It's recentered. Bounces one more time. It'll be kept alive and then immediately downed. And we're heading to overtime in game 2. Can Wyoming win it? Miss Magician runs into his teammate off the kickoff, but it doesn't even matter.
4 seconds in, and it just makes everybody out. The teammate run and froze everybody on the map except for Miss Magician, and he just redirects himself, calmly places it in the back of the net, and Wyoming walk it off in overtime.
Oh my goodness. It's a stat that I don't want to say we've made it up, but it's something we've talked about a lot, which is expected goals. Wyoming felt like they were in that 5 to 6 range, not 3.
Only 5? I was in the teens by that point because their setups for goals were having setups.
Yes. They were setting up setups, then had another 3 setups. I don't know how Wyoming – I told you, every time Wyoming plays, these matches just somehow, some way devolve into chaos. They end up getting the win. And at 2-2, a great way to end our night, by the way, in the USO Rocket League Invitational week number 4. Wyoming's going to be a perfect poster child if you're a believer of lose early in Swiss and then rally back against – easy competition. They started 0-2. They're now 2-2 in a great spot. And again, I don't want to say, that the barbershop was easy competition, but some of those opportunities, a team like Eclipse, Vaulted, Michigan, they're going to punish Wyoming into the ground, but we find ourselves, Wyoming's at 2-2 with a great opportunity. We take a look at our standings updated from the games we have heard about. UT Dallas did end up winning, so we will get our 4-0 showdown there. We have teams like the Chad is at 3-1, Michigan at 3-1, Wyoming's at 2-2 alongside Florida Tech JV and Hood College. Again, we don't have all of the games, just the games we know about. These standings are going to be very, very compact next week at that 2-2 mark, I feel like.
Yeah, they definitely will, and that's why this week is so pivotal if you can get yourself to 3-1, because that puts you in a really good spot. It's going to put you around the top 4, top 5 roughly here, assuming that Hurry Up and Wait lose in this one and drop to 2-2, but even if they do, that's still top 5, top 6. So that's why 3-1 so pivotal this week, because 2-2, you got to win next week now against a bunch of 2-2 teams. You've got to get that 3rd win on the board, because I think if you suffer that 3rd loss, I think that probably is curtains with just how many teams there are sitting already only at 2 losses through these 4 weeks.
And the crazy thing is going to be with the Swiss format, these 3-1 teams are going to play other 3-1 teams. So not only is it if you lose to go to 3-2, you're playing top competition. If you win at 3-1, now all of a sudden you're in a great spot at 4-1. That's kind of that mark. It does look like Vaulted and UTD. I don't know if we'll catch that game next week. Winner of that is probably locked in. I don't know how you would ever miss at 5-1. I don't even think it's mathematically possible. So that is going to be a very interesting game as well. But you're right. There's going to be a log jam at 2-2, especially if Hurry Up and Wait and Escape Velocity, both at 2-1. You could assume safely they may be playing each other. So one of those teams will be 2-2. Next week is going to be absolutely crazy. I mean, that's going to be moving day, if you will, in week 5, because 3-2 versus 2-3, especially heading into that last week, is going to be absolutely crazy. We don't even know about the tiebreakers that are going to be involved. But again, a fantastic day. And here's the other thing, Siphon. Since we started week 2, when it was your first time here, everything was 2-0s. Week 3, absolutely pandemonium. Week 4, all 2-0s. If week 5 goes as crazy as I expect it to be, we're going to be in for a long, long next Thursday, because there's going to be a lot at stake, a lot of teams fighting for the chance for that top 8 and those $10,000. But as we start to wrap things up, we have our USO Invitational Qualifier powered by Geico Military. Speaking of Geico Military, we have their Player of the Week. A lot of deserving players, but also a lot of repeat players. Who you sort of favoring early on here before we toss it to our official handout?
I think Thermal. I think Thermal had the biggest impact today. I think he definitely had a, I think he had a very impactful series in their win against Florida Tech JV. I think he probably was it. I think if I had to name a second, just Ventex. I think Ventex was phenomenal again today, helping Michigan secure that win.
Yeah, I would go with 2 Michigan players. I think Ventex would be my pick, but if you're trying to avoid repeats, it would be Big Ol' Bobcat, because I thought he played phenomenal, and look at that, right on cue, it is Big Ol' Bobcat. I think you're right. I think Ventex played better. I'm always a big fan of spreading the love out, though, and Big Ol' Bobcat came alive in this series, and if he's playing like he did tonight, I think Michigan is a very, very scary team going forward.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, that secondary goal threat outside of Ventex is definitely going to be huge, and they seem to be firing on all cylinders right now. I mean, at times it can look a little bit clunky, but, it worked really well for them again today. They are still riding high and one of the hottest teams in the whole league. I mean, with only 1 goal conceded in their games that count over the last few weeks. So definitely has been, a high-flying Michigan team over the last few weeks. But, Big Ol' Bobcat definitely has stepped up over the last couple of weeks and helped elevate Michigan to where they are right now.
I think Big Ol' Bobcat's evolution, as you said, the big reason why Michigan went from 0-1 to 3-1, and now they're in a perfect spot next week, potentially, depending on their matchup, to maybe lock in a spot. The player of the game brought to us, or player of the week, brought to us by Geico Military. Geico Military has been a partner of the USO since 1997, providing support to military service members and their families throughout their time in service. Thank you, Geico Military, for being a force behind the forces, and congratulations to Big Ol' Bobcat being named this week's Geico Military Player of the Week. Well, as we prepare to put a bow on this evening, it's been, even though everything's been 2-0s, it has been a wild night here, Siphon. Your final thoughts on Week 4 as we head into really what is going to be moving day in Week 5?
There's still time to buy that Wyoming stock. They're still only 2-2, so you still got time there. Obviously, Michigan's a little bit too expensive now.
Yeah.
But Wyoming definitely still has the opportunity there as well. And don't forget, continue to invest in the Florida Tech varsity show match memes for later.
If they go undefeated and miss top 8, that'll be hilarious. I will put you on the spot real quick. Volted UTD. We only saw Volted tonight. That's the big matchup at 4-0. Your early thoughts on who's going to take that next week?
I think Volted. I think I was not very impressed with UTD last week. They turned in a very good performance in Week 2. Week 3, very disappointed with how they played. They barely got past Florida Tech varsity, and that was honestly only because they were able to capitalize on some very high, low capitalization chance opportunities on long full-length goals on the defensive collapse. I think that they definitely didn't impress me last week. I think right now Volted's my favorite until proven otherwise.
Cannot wait to catch that match. Cannot wait to catch teams like Michigan, like Wyoming. Those are going to be a ton of fun. Even Escape Velocity, who we did not see, or even maybe Eclipse, who's down at 3-1. There's going to be a lot of great 3-1 teams as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for the show tonight. Before we conclude with our Geico Military Top 5, we do want to give a major thanks to all the competitors as well as our partner Geico Military. It's been a fantastic 4 weeks, and we've still got 2 weeks left to go just in this qualifier, and then the USO Invitational down the line where there's $10,000 at stake. Is going to be a ton of fun. But thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow the USO on Twitter at the USO and join the USO Discord at discord.gg/the USO. But now we will wrap things up with our Geico Military Top 5 plays from this week's action.
Control of it in the center here. He's going to have to go up against that passer, and he gets it past him. And he's going to look to set up desk one more time. Can the man be stopped?
The answer appears to be no. Look at him, just trolling that midfield. Sees an opportunity, wide open net. There's still enough time for maybe a double hat trick.
Pops it in the air. He's getting it towards the goal. Knocked away by Nadertot. Big Ol' Bobcat centers it for Invitational.
Oh!
He slips it through the defender. Are you kidding me?
How does Juventus do it? Big Ol' Bobcat with just seconds remaining, slamming. I think even got a touch on it.
My.
Opportunity to take the lead, but it's turned away by Bumpin.
Here comes Pandy now. It's going to go back here to Skies. Can Skies find an opportunity? Oh, that's an unfortunate bounce off your boy Rich.
Just a solo play here by Skies. He wants to carry it. Your boy Rich, as you said, stuffed it in front of the net.
It's a win action here between these two teams.
We had a 4-on-2 there. Dimes just dribbled it towards his own net. I was so confused. This allows the Chads to create a ton of pressure. Beasted and Feasted can't find a clear. Tuna off the side wall. Sets it up perfectly. Infinite shot. Top crossbar, and he gets it in.
By Dimes. Infinite keeps it alive. And now the shot is played high in the air over the corner. Tuna guides it towards the goal and scores.
Infinite waiting for the ball. Gets a great touch on it. Clears it around Dimes. Clears it around. Beasted and Feasted. Can he clear it past the whole team? He can. Coast to coast for the 4-0 lead.